Hi.
Are we live?
Hello. We are live.
Hello. I'm trying to I like always I'm like half surprised. I was trying to see if I could share this with people.
Oh, what are we sharing? Wait, before we get started, how are you doing? How are you doing stuff?
I'm doing good. I had a really hard day, honestly. But I'm doing
Good.
okay. My daughter just keeps having a hard time because she I think she's still teething. Like I don't think she stopped. Like all these teeth are growing, and poor thing is just like not having a good time. So
Yeah, yeah, I'd
crying all day.
imagine.
And, I've been trying to like me and my husband have been trying to keep her happy, but it's just so hard. And like I was just like trying to get ready for our stream, and I think fortunately she's doing better now. I think she's probably sleeping or getting ready to sleep with my husband. So yeah, but it was a hard day. Like it's not. It's like babies are the best thing and also the hardest thing in the world. So
hmm
how are you doing, Alpha?
I'm doing good. Well, I suppose mostly. I don't know. I felt very tired today, like weirdly tired. Maybe because I'm on new meds, so it's like,
Mm,
the meds is just killing me slowly. But I'm sure in a few days my body will get used to it and then I won't feel as tired. But like right now, I'm on a new inhaler. I've taken some
mm,
other meds also. So all of it is just like it's just making me real tired right now. Also, I see a friend of mine, Justin's in the. Hello, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Hope you're good. But yeah, so it's like it's that. I'm just so tired today. But maybe after like a nap after we're done here, then I'll feel a little better. Um, Medication, it does this to you. It just makes you so tired, makes you so lethargic. It's not fun.
yeah.
But other than that, it's been good. It's like it's real hot over here. And I know like for a lot of the people that watching this is probably weird because it's like winter for you guys, but it's like summer over here and it's so damn hot. I'm just like, ugh, stop. Stop. Just let
Yeah.
me just like give me a nice cool day so I can just relax a bit. But no, 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 no. We got summer weather over here, so we got like hot winds and we just like it's super windy, so everyone's sinuses is going crazy. And you just like,
Mm-hmm.
why? Why? Although it's nice to have some sunlight, but oh, funny enough, I think what's today? Today is Thursday. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. It was like super hot during the day. And then I think
Mm-hmm.
around like 8 or 9 p.m., it just started raining like crazy. It was just like raining until the next morning. I was just like, we literally had summer and winter in one day. Gotta love
Oh
Cape
wow,
Town.
that's crazy. That
Our
is
weather
crazy.
is our weather's interesting like that. It's always happening where it's like we'll have summer, then maybe we'll have like winter, and we'll have like autumn and spring in between because it'll get like super hot, then it's super cold and raining, and then it's like just windy and kind of cool, and then it's like okay, now it's getting cold again. You're just like,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
welcome to Cape Town. We actually have a song like that over here. I think it was like in a series that used to play on TV, back like when TVs were those huge boxes. I think it's called District 6. So it's a theater play, and it was called District 6. And like one of the main songs from it was Welcome to Cape Town.
I don't know the song.
I'll find it and then I'll send it to you, and you can have a look at it like, I
Okay.
don't know, in
Yeah,
your
that
free
would
time.
be
Because
cool.
it's so Cape Town is very interesting. We've had a lot of fun stuff over here, especially with
Yeah.
our weird ass shows. But yeah, that's things on my end. I think.
I used to live in Texas, and in Texas the weather was also like kind of crazy sometimes, and it also didn't get really cold during the winter time. Like
hmm
it would stay like it would get like a little cold sometimes, but not really. But I remember last year before we moved to Europe, um, in Austin, like there was this like storm, and it was in the winter time, and like it was so weird because it wasn't snow, but like it was ice. And like whatever the storm, however it rained and it got like really cold while it was raining or something, but there was it was like really thick ice over
Hmm.
all the trees and all the plants. Like there was like that much ice over like grass and like branches and stuff like that, and it had been so heavy that it was breaking down like all the trees. And I remember me and my husband had like been taking pictures where in front of our apartment complex because like half of the tree fallen down under like the heaviness of like the ice. It was just one of the craziest things I've seen because it's like usually in Austin, like Texas, like it doesn't snow. Like they don't get snow over there very often. It doesn't get that cold. So it was just one of the craziest. Like Texas has some crazy weather sometimes, but it's definitely my favorite place ever that I've lived. Maybe except Italy. I really love Italy, but I really love Texas. I love Texas so much. It's like special place in my heart.
I think this sounds like an interesting place. But damn, ice though. Oh, that's scary. Because ice is
Yeah,
so
like
much worse than snow, I would say. Because at least like snow is kind of soft and yeah, it can get very heavy if it piles up, but it's like it's easier to move. Ice though, oh my
mm-hmm.
goodness. How do you deal with
Yeah,
ice?
it was very crazy, and like the trees had fallen over cars and had broken like cars and stuff like that. It was like a really crazy storm that we had that one year, and I had never seen anything like that before in my life. No, just talking about the weather.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
so
yeah.
uh, that is definitely not something you see every day.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It's just crazy weather. Crazy weather.
Incredibly.
um,
But wow.
I was actually trying to find the Dupi's collection on OpenSea, but I'm having
Mm-hmm.
trouble. So I'm going to try to find it on Magic Eden because I did want to look at it together just because I haven't it revealed I think yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just super interested. Okay, well, first of all, Doodles floor price is 0.48, and I remember like not that long ago they were higher than that. I think they were almost a ETH, or they were even over an
Yo,
ETH.
Sense. Sense is in the comments, Allison's. Hope you're good, man.
Yeah. Hey Sins. Um
Since he sold all his doobies for 1.5 and he rotated into G-Boy, my man.
Hell
That's the way to
yeah.
go.
I think they had some like they Sins was listening to some kind of interview that Austin was doing. Oh, he's saying that Dupus is broken on Magic Eden. Traits aren't even lining up and matching.
Oh my
So
goodness.
broken. I don't know what's going on.
Damn.
I don't know where to look at it. Like, I don't know what platform to look at it. Because I wanted to see the reveal kind of together.
Hmm. I'm also
Uh,
not finding it on OpenSea, so interesting. Maybe it's not indexed on
yeah, and
OpenSea yet.
I was having
Doobies.
trouble. So yeah, I wanted to just look at it some together. Because I like looking at reveals of collections, and I didn't look at it on purpose because I kind of wanted to talk about the art on the stream while we were live. But I found it on Magic Eden. It seems like it showed like, it's like looking okay. Like I'm not seeing anything.
I
Maybe they
think
fixed some of it.
most likely some of it is fixed. But since you're saying that some of like the traits and some of
Mm-hmm.
the other things like that, the more detailed things are not lining up, like they're not accurate. So you likely have to be, to know a little more to be able to notice those things. But I see we have a few more people in the comments. Let's first say hi to them. We have Crypto
Yeah.
Nugget dot base that is. Hey, GM,
I saw
GM.
some Sub
Uh,
Hero trying to throw shade at me. Don't do
D
it.
Tunes.
still
Yeah, what's
here?
good, man?
Do it.
Okay, Sunset, you can see it on Amy and Tenso. Tenso. I don't think I know
What the heck is
Tenso. I know
Tensor?
Amy.
Tens, I don't know what
I
Tensor is.
Tenso NFT marketplace. Let's give it a search. Is it an NFT marketplace? Some will have to correct us. Um, Han Club says, "Is that snow? God damn!" Wait, is it
He probably
goddamn as in like goddamn or goddamn?
It's probably in a bad way. I wouldn't expect nothing good from
Oh,
him.
so it's a goddamn.
He probably, yeah, I don't trust Hunt Club at all. Uh,
He's just like
but I mean,
shaking his head like God damn it.
he's probably like, "Oh, why are you so ugly?"
Since I love
Yeah,
some of the art and I grab some when they hit the bottom. Yeah. I feel like they're definitely going to hit the bottom at some point. Oh, since is saying watch it, Hunt Club. She's married. She's married. Yes, she is. She got a kid too. Watch it. You better watch it.
Hunt, Hunt,
Hunt Club is just
don't
laughing
have
over
me
there.
start on Hunt.
Which is my friend. Yes. We know. Chill. We chilled. Okay, we chilled. We chilled over here.
Hunt has like grown ass children. Hunt has kids that are like adults. She needs a tan. I do need a tan. I
You
need
do
a
need
tan
a
really
tan.
badly, but it's winter time, Hunt, and I can't go get a tan right now.
Oh, wait, but you live like in the land of like 2 hours of sunlight anyway during summer, so I don't know. You do
Me?
like you live up there in like the
No,
not so
I
sunny side
don't.
of the world.
No. We have sun. We have a lot of sun in the summertime. We got the beach and
Okay.
stuff, but I did go to the beach, but we only went for about like a few days, and because we went with my daughter, and she's
Hmm.
just a little baby, so we couldn't stay like a long time. And yeah, basically, I didn't get to have a good tan.
Likes your
My
ears.
ears? What the heck do you have to do, Hunt?
I think it's making fun of you.
He's always making fun of me. They're trying to fly
They
away.
thought,
It's my hair, Hunt. It's just this like after giving birth lady hair that like, is just not great. I don't know what to do with it. I can't put it like this.
show us the babies now. Show us the baby. We're all
Well,
here
the
to see
baby
the
is
baby.
sleeping and also very cranky today.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
going to also show her to no creepy people on the internet.
Whoa. We might have to call the police if we do that.
The baby's sleeping and the baby's also super cranky. She's been crying all day today. Poor thing. Has like teeth growing. Anyways, we're talking about doopies. And I'm trying to figure out how
Yes.
to share my screen so we could kind of look at this art together. Cause, you know, it's cool. There's a lot of variety.
It's like
Um
just
the
press the share screen button. That's all you need to do. Just like press the share screen button. That should be somewhere on the screen.
ah wait, there it is. I figured it
And Club
out.
says, and Club
Okay.
says, if
So
he'd be cranky too if you were his mom.
yeah, I
Oh,
mean, yeah, you probably would. I know you don't like me, Hunt. But so I wanted to look at this art, and I mean, there's a lot of variety.
mm-hmm.
Somebody I remember seeing someone mentioning that they basically accused doodles of this being AI, but I don't believe this is AI. I think Burnt Toast like drew this himself because he said that he worked on this. This has been in the works for like 3 years. And if it was AI, that wouldn't take so long. I feel like that would make it be like made so much faster. I feel like there's a lot of color and it's like very fun, but I don't like these ones that look like that are
Mm,
just like a little square. It's like really underwhelming.
it is
Like
underwhelming.
this one is kind of cute, but like this one or like I don't know. I like these more fun ones that have like more detail in them. This one has I also don't like the poop trait. I know maybe some people do. Like, but if Doodles is going to do like any kind of like gamification with these later on, like if they maybe are eventually going to evolve, or like you can combine to make something different or something like that, that would be really cool. But a lot of them are really cool. I just don't like the poop trait. Like, I don't like that they have poop on their heads. But I mean, but they're also like, because at first there were supposed to be 25,000 of these, and they probably were going to be cheaper if they had like released all of them. But now that the collection is smaller, they're kind of, I mean, I don't, for some people they're probably not expensive, but like for me they kind of are a little like expensive. But I like these really colorful ones, like, the ones that have like more going on. They're like
Hmm.
really fun. They're really cool.
I feel like, honestly, to
Also,
me,
would you ever pick one of these?
I may like if I look through it, I'm sure I'll find one that I like, but I feel like it's kind of very underwhelming for something from, Doodles. Like, because if I look
Mhm.
at Doodles, like the original Doodles thing, like that, it's so cool. Like it has a certain aesthetic. It's fun. It's playful. Kind of reminds me of what's
Mhm.
that show, Adventure Time. Like as a very
Mhm.
Adventure Time
Yeah.
aesthetic. It's very fun. It's very colorful. It kind of gives you like this could be a whole show on its own. But I don't
Mhm.
know, this like the Doopies collection is it's not hitting the same, I would say. It's like I mean, sure, it doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't seem like it is AI generated. I feel like AI probably would have
No,
made
no,
a
I
lot
don't
of
think so.
mistakes, honestly.
I think somebody was just being like, I don't think people at this point know how to tell like AI from not AI. So they just kind of like throw it around, like they just can't tell.
Hmm.
So it's like somebody was like, "Oh, this is just AI, whatever." But I don't think it is. I don't think that. I think
Yeah,
that these are drawn,
I agree.
and a
I
lot of them
definitely
are
don't think they
fun.
grow. There are definitely some that I think are really cool. They have like a really fun aesthetic. They kind of fit, but then it's like there's some that are just so bland, so boring. They just seem out of place to me, at least. I don't know if you can agree with that, but that's at least how I see it. Like there's some that's just like literally just a ball, and you're just like, okay,
Are some of
it
them
doesn't look
supposed to
like this.
be
It's like it doesn't
like?
look like
'Cause
there's any real traits to them.
yeah, and I'm trying to figure out, cause like, what is this? There's like a video that's not playing for me here, but
Yeah,
I'm
I've been
wondering.
trying to check the videos too, but none of the videos are working right now. I think
Yeah,
that may
so
be a
maybe,
problem on EME side because all the
yeah,
images work, but the videos don't work.
yeah. Cause look at this one. This is just like a yellow square with like a flower, and it's like a little
You see what I mean?
underwhelming. But I love them. I don't hate them. They're like pretty cool. Like the art is really fun. I don't know if they get a little repetitive. Like,
Yeah, they kind of do. I think that's the issue I'm kind of having. There are some
mhm,
that are just so good. I can definitely say there's some that I'm like, wow, those are nice.
yeah,
Those are unique. Those really
mhm.
uh, the doodles, aesthetic, especially the rarer ones. But then there's just some that are so boring. So
Yeah, just
damn.
the really simple one, like this one, for example. It's like,
What is that?
this. I think it's like an egg. Looks like an egg.
I
And
mean, I
then
guess I guess you have to have boring stuff too, I guess.
yeah, I mean, yeah, cause like then everything would be too exciting. I don't know. It's like I'm not, I like the art. I'm not like mad at it. It's just that some of it is like a little underwhelming. That's all. And like my first thought when I
Mhm.
saw the whole thing, I was like, I just thought that some of it gets might be a little bit repetitive, and then I just
Mm-hmm.
didn't like the really simple ones. But I think as a whole, as a collection, it's pretty cool. We don't have nothing else like it, honestly. Like it's I don't think that we have another collection that has this many different like creatures that is like so like really kind of unique. We don't have anything like
Mm-hmm.
that because we have what do we
I
have?
will
We
also
have
say
like
I feel like okay.
no, go ahead.
I will also say I don't feel like any of these NFT marketplaces do the collection any justice either. It's like the way that we've
Mhm.
seen it right now in India is so bad. You kind of have to click on one to be able to really zoom in. And most of what you
Mhm.
see is like the traits and all of those. It's like it really takes away from what it could be.
Mhm.
So maybe if Doodles does have some kind of like website that showcases things, showcases all of the types of and I know Doopy's out there, the different traits, things, something that highlights the art a little better. Maybe then it would be a little easier to see all the fun, unique things and the
Mhm.
different kinds of Doopies instead of right now with like the NFT marketplaces where it's kind of you can see the focus is more on buying and selling than actually showing off the art.
Mhm.
That might actually be a major issue with crypto itself. Like you're a collector, and a lot of the people that follow you, that you talk to, they are more here for they love the art of things. But when you go to things like OpenSea, Magic Eden, Tensor, any of the other marketplaces, the focus is a lot more on the buy-in, which isn't even a good experience in and of itself, but the focus is a lot more on buying and selling the NFTs than really being able to highlight the NFTs themselves, at least from my experience, which is
Mhm.
why I've always very much stayed away because it's such a pain.
Mhm.
You maybe want to look for something in particular and you have to spend like 5, 10 minutes just scrolling trying to find something, or you're looking unless it's a specific trade and then it's a little easier, but it's such a pain. They don't highlight the
Mhm.
NFTs, they don't show the art very nicely. It's very much focused on buying and selling. And to me that
Mhm.
it just doesn't do the NFTs any justice. It doesn't do the artists any justice. It doesn't highlight the work that they've put in very well. But maybe that's just me. I'm
Yeah,
very
I
picky after
know.
all.
Yeah. Um, I'm just like thinking about the Doopies.
Mhm. Well, there are some that are really cool, though. I will say there are some that look really cool.
Yeah,
I
some of
wish
them
those
do
damn
look
videos would work, but okay.
right. I want to see some of them. I think some of them are animated.
Yeah, that might be what the video is, but because
Mhm.
Magic Eden is just audible, it's not working.
Yeah.
You see, there's another
Probably
problem.
trying to.
Some of
Yeah.
them are animated and we can't even see the damn animations. Wow. So progressive, so advanced, so impressive. So I'm
Uh,
suddenly salty. Uh, it's oh, that's so cute. Look at I found a really cute one. Found a really cute one. Oh wait, you can't even share a specific thing. Like, how do you do that? Go to the full page, copy to clipboard. Okay, what does that do?
you can share your screen if you want to. Oh, also, Hunt Club was like commenting on my hoodie, my black hoodie. This is a PXN hoodie. You could tell by right there. It says like the little ghost. That's my PXN hoodie. I have other PXN stuff. I used to be really into PXN, but then they ghosted their community.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So, oh, that one
Like
is a
real
really cute one.
see what I mean? I had to spend like all 5 minutes scrolling just to find one I like.
That is, I really
It's
like
so
that one.
cute. I could do that thing.
Yeah,
Since
that
you
one
love
is
me for
actually
doing
a
that, right click save.
yeah, right, click save. And I think that one is animated.
It does, it definitely is, but issues. What is let's see, is this going to do anything?
I don't
Um,
know.
Nah, it's not working. So apparently it's saved on IPFS, but the IPFS file is not working.
Yeah,
So I don't know. That's cool. Maybe they didn't save it right, or maybe it needs to be updated. But yeah, this one's so cute.
that
He's so
one is
cute.
cute.
This one's just
I like
fun.
that.
Oh, wait. Yeah. You're getting
Oh,
like
that
a
one is
faded
really
baby.
fun. That one looks like a Pokemon. That looks like a
It
certain Pokemon.
does. It's like Dodrio. There we go. That's the one, Dodrio.
That one,
I'm a
that's.
bit. I used to play Pokemon, so quite a lot back
I
in the
don't know the
day.
Pokemon names. That one is
It looks like
fun.
it. He's a horse with like three tails. Is that like
Yeah,
four tails, five tails? I don't know. I'm confused. But it got a lot of splash of color, which is nice.
yeah.
But yeah,
Some other
Doopies.
ones.
Do we hate it? Do we love it? Do we think it's a little? Are we a little salty on it? Do we think they could
I
have
don't hate it. I
made
really
things a
don't.
little?
I really don't hate it. I like it. I don't love it. I like it.
Let's say
I don't hate it, nor do I love it. I like it. There's some that are really good, and then some that I don't, that I don't like that much. But overall, I think overall as a collection, it's a good collection. There's a
it
lot
is
of variety.
interesting.
I
It
appreciate the
yeah.
complexity and the variety of it all.
Yeah, yeah, I think I can agree with that. Like, it does have a lot of variety. It is really cool. I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of fun to it. There's a lot of things here that you can like that just look really cute, even though they may be
Mhm.
simple like this one. But hey, that crown makes it
That
look
one's
even
cute. I
better.
like
Only 2% have the crown,
I like that
so
one.
no,
I
there's a
mean,
lot
and
of
also I think that it's kind of sad though because Burnt Toast spent all these years like making this collection and then he had to cut it down so much.
hmm
It's
we're
like,
not
but
seeing
then
everything.
like imagine, yeah, we're not seeing everything, but then imagine like I think that still 25,000 of these things would have been a lot. And I think that it would have been more repetitive at that point.
It likely would have been. It
Yeah,
very
and I
likely would
think
have been.
that you would have had a lot more of these more simple ones, maybe. I don't know. But I think that it wasn't like, the only thing is that, he did work really hard on this, but then, like, it was probably like a good thing that it got cut down.
hmm
Or it's not 25,000 of them, but, I just don't like the square ones that are just like a square. That's my biggest complaint. It's like the super simple ones. Well, this one's kind of cool because of the background, but some of them have like a one color background and then just a little cube or whatever. That one is kind of cute
Yeah.
because of the colorful background.
If only all of them would properly load, god damn it, like this. It's like it's
Yeah,
so simple. It's literally just
yeah,
a cube.
that's
Well,
so
not even a
simple.
cube, but yeah. I mean,
But
okay, okay. I suppose if, like as you were talking about, it is some gamification that comes into play on things,
mhm,
maybe later down the line. Why is my camera frozen? Um, Maybe later down the line, and it's like related
mhm,
to some kind of game or something, then it would make a lot of sense. Um, because then it would kind of be like, okay, all of these things are related to each other somehow. If it's
mhm.
gamification, it's like you kind of need a lot of things that are the same, a bit different at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like there's probably potential there, even though they're very similar. Why is my camera frozen? It is definitely frozen. I don't understand what's happening there, but okay. That's not a very nice look for me. Let me try something. Um,
I wanted to, but yeah, I think that's my final thought on um the Doopies collection. I think that the number that it's at right now is fine. I don't think that it needed to be more. And then it's like I don't like hate it and I don't like love it. I just like it. I like it. I think it's very unique. And I think that there's a lot of people probably out there that actually like do like it probably more than me. They're like bigger fans, like especially if they're um they're like kind of like really into doodles and burnt toast art.
Mhm. I mean, it's really cute. I do love the aesthetic, like the old pastel colors and everything. I think it's cute. Though I'm definitely on the same wavelength with you, where it's like I don't hate it, but I'm also don't love it. I think it's cute. I think it's very cute. It has a lot of really cool things about it, but there's a lot of repetition and there's a lot of things that's like super simple that just doesn't seem to do the collection justice. But then again, you can't have everything be great. You know, there has to be some
Yeah.
outliers. There has to be parts of it that's kind of mundane, and then it makes the ones that are really outstanding stand out better. And it's like, have you ever heard of like the duff in the group of friends? So the duff is like the least pretty looking one, and because you have that person, everyone else looks better. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of like that. I mean, honestly, like I think it's the same thing with the Azuki collection. Like for me, like Azuki has really good art, but not all of the Azukis to me look good. Like some of
Hmm.
them are good, and then some of them are just like too chaotic. They have some traits that I don't like. Um, like actually, well, let's. I love looking at NFTs, so we're going to look at NFTs. So, like for example, I was trying to share this.
Look, you
Okay.
took away your stream. Okay, there we go.
There it is. Anyway, so like for example, we're looking at this one right here. I hate that. I don't like that at all. Like that is just a
Ah,
weird combo. Like
that is a weird
this
combo.
one
What the heck is going on
just
there?
looks weird with the pink lipstick, and I usually love the pink lipstick, but this one just didn't come out well. Well, like this one is a really good one. Like, and like some of them make sense,
Mm.
some of them don't. Like this one is just a beautiful Azuki in my opinion. I feel like this one has too much going on. This one looks like a ninja. Kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I like that one or not. But you see, it's
Ninja
like,
with a broom.
yeah, it's like some of them just like don't make sense. But then it's like, I don't know. Some of them do. And it's like, you just pick the one that you really like. I also am not a fan of like the sleeping mask. I don't like that trait. But overall, as a collection, I think Azuki is like the best BFP collection out there. I don't think you can have anything else that like stands out or is like more recognizable than Azuki, in my personal opinion. Just because I'm an Azuki maxi, all the other people don't need to come after me and tell me that base your doodles is better. It's just not my cup of tea. I love Azuki, and I think that Azuki just looks really cool. Like, look at this guy. He just looks so badass.
Choose you. Bored Ape Yacht is the biggest and most famous collection on the planet. Okay. How dare you put Azuki above Bored Apes? How dare you?
I mean, some people get really offended. It's like, some people are like, whatever. Everybody loves their bags, but, that's why, but it just makes sense because it's like if we all were, I don't know, if we all were the same person, we would be buying the same thing, but, people are different. They have different tastes. So it just makes sense that some people just love whatever it is more than the other thing. And for me, that's Azuki.
Hmm.
I like Azuki. It looks good.
You know, like the issues that you kind of point out with like the Azukis, especially, and this goes for any NFT collection really, is that because it's generative,
Mm-hmm.
not sure if you've ever used any of like the NFT collection generators. So
Mm-hmm.
you have like all of your traits.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you have like 10 different traits, like backgrounds, lipstick, eyes,
Mm-hmm. Oh
eye
yeah, yeah, yeah.
color. Okay, eyes would have an eye color. So you have all the layers, the traits. Now
Yeah.
the problem with doing generation is that when you generate it, it's all random, and certain traits might not work well with others or overlap, and that would cause an issue. Now, usually the best way to go about that is to go through the collection, manually, make adjustments, pick out things that maybe don't work, like with some of the Azukis where there's too many traits that just conflict, the colors don't match like the ones that you just pointed out. Usually a human has to go review those things and then be like, okay, now we're good. But obviously, things can slip through the cracks in that way, and that's kind of the major issue with generative, using these sorts of generations. I think what was the biggest one? It was by that guy, but like that's kind of one of the main issues with NFT collections is that the way that those things are done, the way the whole collection is created, because for one human to go and create 10,000 different pieces of artwork is going to take ages. We
Okay,
all know
but
it. It's going to take ages.
but it can be done because
It can be done.
I have another example. There is a perfect collection out there, in my opinion. There is a perfect collection. I'm trying to share
Can
my
be
screen.
done. There's also there's also this guy that I've seen on Instagram. He I think he was doing like this thing where every day draw a random comment to his PFP.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's 365 in a year, technically. So, you know, technically it can be done.
So,
Just have to be that guy and crack.
Killer Girlfriends. We want to talk a little bit about Killer Girlfriends. Killer Girlfriends is a perfect collection as far as art, color coordination, and layering goals. Like Killer Girlfriend is like they are all consistent. There is not one that has too much going on. I don't think there's like I've never seen like any, and maybe somebody can correct me that I personally have never found like layering issues. Oh my god, like what is this? I just saw this one. This one is like beautiful. I'm waiting for her to load up, but like I saw her. Um and why this is so good is because Kiwi, who's the dev, did a very good job of like the code, or like however he generated these. He paid like extreme attention to like
Hmm.
all of it, and like this collection to me out like there's not one that looks bad. Like they all look good. There's nothing like you can pick whichever one you want, and they all are going. I just want to look at this one so bad. Oh my god, like this one is so good. I love
So
all of
cute.
them. I love all of them, and there's nobody that if you have anything bad to say about the Killer Girlfriend art, you have to be like retarded. Like it's the
Now I'm
art.
going to go find something bad to say just because you
Like
said
there's
that.
just
That's a challenge.
nothing to say. Like I don't know. The one thing husband complains about, he doesn't like this trait that's like the blood that's like I don't know. He just doesn't like this trait. But some people like it.
Hmm.
It's not my favorite, but at the same time, it's like still they all look good. Like there's not one Killer Girlfriend that doesn't look good. They all look good. They're like it's such a good collection. Like I love all of them, and I always like talk about it because it's just it's just amazing. Like they did such a good job. And also like I remember whenever I worked at TGOA online, the Girls of Armament. We in the beginning, I remember Girlera was sending us batches of like randomly generated TGOAs,
Hmm.
and I remember when they were not color coordinated, and it looked awful because like the outfits had like random colored accessories, and it just looked so chaotic. And then we were like, well, we have to do something about that. They have to be color coordinated. And then after that, he started, like, I don't know, he had a div and like they coordinated them. I don't know exactly how it all works in the background, but after that, when they started generating them, they looked so much better whenever they were color coordinated. And the only layering issues with that collection is like some of the girls had like masks, and there was no
Mhm.
way to like basically make the hair make sense with some of the masks. And there's like certain girls that like have strands of hair that like should be behind like the masks, but they're like in front, and it's just, but it's very few of them. And sometimes there's like little stuff like that that don't make sense, and like sometimes you can't help it because like the art is so complex and there's like so many layers to it that there's really like nothing that you can do about it. But if you're looking for those mistakes like before you release, like before you the collection is revealed, and how I've actually talked to Kiwi about this, he says that, and this is what TGOA did, like the NFTs have to be like generated in batches before the collection is released, and you kind of have to go through like big batches of them and like quality check and see if like
Yep.
everything makes sense. That's what you were also saying. And then like you basically prepare for the reveal and you get rid of all the stuff that doesn't make sense, or you're going to have like a bad reveal. And like a bad reveal can really like mess you up. But I think that generally people were happy with Doopies. I didn't see a lot of people complaining about it on the timeline. I don't think, I was just seeing people being excited about them and like saying that they like them even as PFPs. So I feel like most people were happy. I don't know. I didn't see any fun. Why are you laughing so much?
I don't know. I haven't seen any fun either. That's this is funny.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anybody fund them, so I mean, I
Mhm.
think that they're cute. It's like a lot of variety, as I said. It's really unique, so I like it.
It is cute. It
Yeah,
definitely is cute. We all
yeah,
love we will love cutesy things. We love it. We
yeah.
love things cutesy and
There's
demure
nothing
and
wrong with that.
all
There's nothing.
those words.
Yeah, and I also wanted to talk a little bit about the G Boy release. I was actually trying to pull up G Boy, and I think I could look at it on OpenSea. And it was like they had a huge reveal on Saturday. It was Saturday whenever it launched on at Breakpoint, Solana Breakpoint. And people, I mean, people were excited. Oh man, it's pumping. Like, you know how we were looking at it just like before we started our stream, and it was at
8.
008. It went just to 10 to 01, and now it went back to 009, but it's like keeps going up, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
doing
think it's
pretty
all
good.
that talking that Austin has been doing on like different interviews and live streams. I think he's making people bullish.
Austin
But
is
it's
just
really good.
Austin's bringing his marketing genius into the mix. Now people
He
have to
he
buy.
is. He is. He is so much fun to listen to. Like I was listening to him on an interview yesterday, and he was talking about, the interviewer was asking him like questions about his whole life. So it was just kind of interesting to listen to his whole like career, and like him going to college and then the different jobs that he had, and like how he, it all kind of like led him to be like in crypto and then work for Doodles, and then they started Nuco. Um, but yeah, the G Boy token has been doing. I mean, I think it's been doing pretty good in my opinion. It's not like doing horrible. It's even like going. It's recovering. Like it bottomed out. Now it's recovering. It's really nice
Hmm.
to see. And I think that um the team, well, how they say is that like they basically see the release of the token is basically the beginning. So it's like, they're really serious about starting to work more, like even more on stuff. It's not like they have not been working on things. They have been really, I don't think I have anything ever seen anything like them, honestly. Like launch in 2 months, like literally distribute free NFTs. Then they did the blind boxes that was like collectible toys, and even though people were like fudding it or whatever, it's fine. Like the community was like really excited about that. I got one just because I want the actual physical collectible. And then to release the token, and not even, they didn't even ask of anything of their, like, we all thought that there was going to be a pre-sale, because like I remember the community before the G-Boy token release, like everybody was like saying, they were like, oh, you should like keep some Solana to the side, like, for the pre-sale of the token. And then the team was like, oh, the token is live, you're just going to get to claim it whenever your time comes, because there was like different tiers. And I just was surprised because they're just giving us free stuff, and it's like, how can you fud that? How can you? And it's like, people, there was some people who were unhappy, but it's like, from my perspective, I'm like, I literally have not, they haven't asked nothing of me. They haven't, I just had to participate. I just had to, I don't even, I got the badge just by talking to the community. And then, like, I was just on the website, like, making art whenever I had time. And just
Hmm.
still just talking to the community. They haven't asked nothing of anybody. So I don't know. It's just kind of hard to fud that.
I don't know. I've seen people fight it. I don't know. I think they took it. It's a lot of shall I say what's it like when people say it's like faded because they faded it, so now they fight in it,
Yeah.
and that's about it. Just a lot of salty people, I guess, because they didn't get in, they didn't get badges and stuff like that, so now they are
Hmm.
upset. Or maybe it's like the people that got locked out because they didn't follow the rules, like sending
Hmm.
the snakes out, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's always going to be some fun
Of
somewhere from
course.
someone. Whether the fun makes sense or not, it doesn't matter. It's just that people are going to have opinions. Some of them are going to have those opinions because they didn't get in, they didn't get part of the pie, like whale.
Yeah.
I know how much you love whale after all. But we're going to have people like that, the KOLs that maybe didn't get the deal, and they're going to be upset, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, well, this is so bad, and for whatever reason, you're just going to be like, yeah, we know you're salty. We know it. We know that's the whole problem, but we don't care. And you know what? You can piss off with your fight. We don't particularly care about you. So, peace. If it means you're out, good riddance. Thank you.
Yeah. And I only remember like really
Mm,
one person having like a complaint, like really in our Telegram chat, and he was complaining because not everybody was going to unlock their tokens at the same time. So like
mm-hmm,
the unlocking is happening over like a week basically. So like the first claim was on Saturday, and then I don't think anybody claimed on Sunday, and then the next one was on Monday, and then the rest of the tiers are unlocking each day. Like each tier is unlocking of a day of this week. And so tomorrow is basically the lowest tier, which is my tier. So tomorrow I'll be able
mm-hmm,
to claim my tokens, but I didn't feel like it was such a problem, and I most like it had to be done so then all the tokens weren't unlocked all at the same time.
mm-hmm,
So then all the people couldn't dump all at the same time, and like actually a lot of the community is holding on to their tokens, and a lot of them are staking them on like platforms like Orca and Wasabi, I think. And I don't know nothing about staking, and they told me to be careful. So I don't know. I don't know anything about staking.
I might have to go look at that, see where the staking is happening, because that sounds
Yeah,
interesting.
and so I just, they were saying like, you have to know what you're doing with some of it, and so I just haven't. I'm probably just, probably going to
Good morning,
stake my
Serenity.
good morning. Um,
Serenity
but
probably
yeah,
just
so
woke up.
yeah, it's like I don't know how staking works, so I'm gonna have to learn because I might try to do that. But we'll see. Um, and yeah, so there was just like somebody was complaining about that, and then there was another person who had like some kind of like another complaint that I really don't remember exactly what it was about. But like people on the timeline who are not into the Gboy ecosystem were complaining because like
Mm-hmm.
the token pumped and then it dumped whenever
Mm-hmm.
it launched. But it's like, well, what token doesn't, right? It's like, how are you gonna? I don't think you can have a token that doesn't pump and dump. Like it just happens. It just matters what is going to happen afterwards. It's like, we'll see what's going to happen from now on. That's more important. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a token that didn't pump and dump on launch. Is there even such a thing? Point one.
Well, I mean, some tokens don't pump and dump immediately, but they do eventually. Some, some like UST as an example, they maybe just, they pump for a long time and then just crash
Mhm.
everything all at once. So there's that.
Yeah,
We know how that went.
yeah. I mean,
We know
even
exactly
Bitcoin
how
like
that went.
crashes sometimes, liquidates everybody. I don't know. It's
So
not the same thing, but I don't know. It's like you can't, like, I don't feel like the team could have done anything to prevent that. I'm curious to see something like, there's a token called, and I think it's on, no, it's actually on AVAX. Do we have AVAX on OpenSea? Yes. So there is a token called Yellow Cat. Um,
yellow.
Yellow Cat on AVAX. And that token was very interesting because it was like, I can't find it. It probably because it doesn't have a lot of volume nowadays, but that token was like launched like stealthily, I think. And so when you look at
Mm-hmm.
the overall chat chart, it like just climbed up for like a long period of time. Let me see. I think I found it. Yes. And it's like really low right now. But if I can find the beginning of it and see if it like pumped and dumped, oh wow, the chart is crazy.
Yeah, please screen share so we can also see.
But I don't think I can see that because yeah. So in the
Send me
beginning,
the link to it, then I can go have a look. Because maybe.
wait. I got it. I got it. I know how to do this. Can you see
Okay.
it?
Okay. Give me a second.
So
There we
I was
go.
just trying to see if like here in the beginning I could see if like the token had like pumped and then had like fallen, but it just looks like it slowly went up. Um, and so unfortunately, I don't think you can see like the chart looked on this first day right here. But over time, like it just went like it went up for like a while, went a lot down, and then it went up again. But how it was launched was like it was probably one of the best launches of like a token I have seen in the space because also the devs were like super um, educated on how to prevent it getting bundled and sniped in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and so I can't explain like completely accurately, but what they would do is they launch the token, and I think 10 or 15 seconds after the launch, when the token went live, pull the liquidity out. And that would make basically, they would rug the snipers. and did that a couple times. So it's like, because like a human, how they explain it is like a person, a normal person that doesn't have a bot trying to snipe the token can't buy that fast. So they were trying to just like make the snipers like basically not be able to snipe the token. So they were pulling the liquidity like as soon as they launched the token, and like I think they made like $150,000 out of that because of how much money the snipers were trying to put into the token in the like first seconds of it launching.
That's
And then after
crazy.
that, the token was able to kind of like grow organically up, and people were happy. And that token kind of started a trend on AVAX. There was like in the beginning of this year, there was like a lot of hype around uh meme coins with like good art on AVAX. So there was Ket, there was like another one, Wink. It was called Wink. That was the second token that launched, and the people who the same devs were involved in that token as well. And then there was a token called Blub. And with each token, hype was like more than the previous one, but it performed worse.
Wow.
And I remember just like watching all that, and like it was just a very interesting token, and it started this hype of like AVAX. And I remember AVAX people were kind of like coming out of their shell, like out of like their little bubble of AVAX, and they were kind of like they were like on the timeline more. And I remember like interacting, oh see, you can pull like a better like picture of the chart. So they launched it stealthily, so like nobody, I think in the beginning not a lot of people knew about this token, and they slowly like introduced it to people after it was launched. And you see how it kind of like grew, like it just kind of pumped over time,
Hmm.
which is just interesting to me. I don't know. I think
And
it
they
was,
had a lot of volume.
yeah. And I
So
remember for the better part of this year, it was performing really well. It always
mm,
had a lot of volume. And
yeah, things
but then
just
you
got a
see like it
little.
kind of like then it's, but it does it like it doesn't just dump. It does it slowly over time. It just goes down slowly over time. And it's just such an interesting token. I don't know. I'm like interested in seeing stuff like this, and either it's NFTs or like meme coins. I think there's always something to learn and see, kind of like chopped sideways for a long time and then pumped slowly again. And then it just
Yeah, and
started
didn't.
going down. It
Yeah,
started
played
going
pretty.
down with everything else slowly, like over time, you know. It's just is bleeding because the whole market is doing that.
And a nice, cute little pump here in September
Yeah.
again, and then it's just been bleeding since
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. And I
Ouch.
think it just kind of like represents the whole market. Like I think that all the coins except like ETH and Bitcoin, like everything else has just had the same trend basically. Like there came a point where I remember everything pumped one last time and then it just started bleeding out.
Yeah, yeah.
And they
Although if
hear
you had
that.
been a liquidity provider during this time, yeah, you'd have made some good money or from liquidity, though you probably would have gotten it with pretty bad impermanent loss. But
Yeah.
being a liquidity provider, you would have made some pretty nice money
Yeah.
because volume was crazy. Look at that.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands every day.
Yeah. It had like really like steady volume for a lot of this year. It really did. Like people were buying and selling that token like crazy.
Yeah, it just fizzled out around here.
Yeah.
August. August is not fizzling, but that's interesting. You know, sometimes a stealth launch does a lot better than a than a
Yeah.
hype launch. Well, actually, more often than not, the stealth launch does better because there's less eyes on what you're doing. So there's less opportunity for, people to come in, buy early, and then sell as soon as things start pumping. And that's usually what happens. Like snipers obviously are a problem. There's always going to be snipers. But also when you do like a public launch, people are going to use their Telegram trading bots. There are going to be people that are using that. And they part of the snipers. So you're going to have like a bunch of people buying like within the first, minute or so of things going live. They're going to buy, they're going to pump the chart like crazy, and then people are just going to start selling and take profit. Especially the early snipers, the ones that got in like in the first 10 seconds, they're going to sell as soon as things hit like a 2 or 3x. They're going to start selling, and your chart's going to kind of do a nice spike, and then it's going to dip crazily, just like what happened with G-Boy. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, there was a bunch of people that sniped it. I think they had like a bonding curve thing also. I'm not sure where they launched it on exactly, but bonding curves also cause that kind of spike where like as soon as it launches, it does like a massive green candle. But
Mhm.
because of that, people now have tokens and they're going to sell it because price is high. What do you mean? Why should I keep my tokens? So it's
Mhm.
more often than not, it immediately dumps off. And that's just how it is. With bonding curve things, that's just always going to be the case. You can do whatever you want, but that's just how it works, man. Like there's no change in it. It's what comes after that is the real question. Like once the bonding curve people, once the snipers dump, what do you do from there? How does the token perform at that point? Like, does it just stay sideways for a while? Does it steadily climb? Because either one of those are pretty good. As long as it stays in a certain range, it doesn't dump too much further, it doesn't do another 99% dump on top of a 99% dump, then you're good. Because at some point it can only dump so much, and the more it dumps, it's just like, is it worth nothing at that point? Um, but also with Gboy, I think it's good that they decided not to release everyone's token in one go.
Mhm.
It's good to release it over time, one at a time, one group at a time, because like you said, had they released everything all at once, it would have been a huge amount of tokens just like that, boom, on the
Mhm.
table for people to go dump. There's not everyone's going to be a diamond hand, not everyone's going to hold, not everyone's going to provide liquidity. And that's just how it is. People are here to make money. Some people just want to hold tokens. Some are going to sell some, hold 50%. Some are going to provide liquidity with like 20%, sell 20%, hold the
Yeah.
rest, stuff like that. Everyone's going to do a little bit of a different thing. And you can't fault people for trying to make a little money. That's just, I mean, we in crypto, we need money. We're all here to make a little bit of money. Like, that's just how it is. And it's fair. It's fair. Everyone should try to make a
It.
little money. If you're getting tokens for free, I mean, sell off some of it, make a little money off from that, and decide what you're going to do with the funds from there. Whether you provide liquidity or not, because liquidity providing is pretty good when there's high volume, but if there's low volume, then there's no point. Like right now, I would say Jibo isn't really the best for providing liquidity. At least if
Mhm.
we look at like the current volume, it's like 2,000, 3,000, 1,000. At least
Mhm.
looking at OpenSea, that's what it's giving me. If I go to the CoinGecko API, let me just go to CoinGecko quickly. Um, so it's like if you're looking at that, like the volume is super low. So even if you were providing liquidity, you wouldn't be making any real fees, which is,
Yeah.
kind of rough. You want to be able to make those fees because at the end of the day, you're providing liquidity. You want things to be pumping. Well, not pumping really, because pumping would be bad for you too. But you want a lot of volume because the more volume, the more fees you get. So it's like
Yeah.
sideways is good for most of the time. Honestly, like I don't mind when it charges like does that in a very specific range, like it doesn't go out to that range, that's perfect. Because you make good liquid, you get good fees from the liquidity providing. But when it starts doing pumps and dumps, and you're like, oh God, my liquidity is pointless now. Because yes, it's maybe going to have high liquidity, high volume at that point, but your fees aren't as good because you're constantly out of range. So it's like you want sideways movement, at least in my opinion, as someone that likes to provide liquidity. That's perfect for me. You're not seeing big bumps, you're not seeing big dumps, you're just seeing something that's consistent. And if a token, gradually climbs over time, whether it's like 2% a month, that's also really good. At the end of the day, it's not a huge dump. And That's fine. That's fine. That's really fine.
I've never tried to provide liquidity. Like, I don't know nothing about it. I need to learn more.
It's kind of stressful, to be honest. It's kind of
Mm,
stressful because when you provide liquidity, you are more likely to face something called impermanent loss. So
mm-hmm,
let's say you want to provide liquidity. I'm going to take like, let's say ETH USDC, right?
mm-hmm,
So you want to provide liquidity on that. So you want to provide liquidity. ETH is $3,400. So you provide one ETH and $3,400 as you know, 3,400 USDC as the liquidity. But what happens when ETH pumps? Let's say ETH goes to 4K. Because
mm-hmm,
your funds is in a liquidity position, you don't get that because it has to balance. So
mm,
now your ETH is technically higher than the USDC, so it
mm-hmm,
balances and even things out, which means you don't see that $600 increase on your ETH. So even if you take out now, you're not going to get one ETH, you're going to get zero point 0.8 ETH, and you're going to get 3,400 USDC. So you just lost funds. Now what happens if it dumps? Same thing. You end up getting less. It's called interpermanent loss.
But why would you provide liquidity then?
Fees. Usually on very high volume pairs, if you provide liquidity, you make enough off from the fees that you don't really care about the difference. So you don't care about the impermanent loss at that point. And you're not likely to take your funds out anyway. So if you're going to provide liquidity, you're probably going to leave it there for like 6 months to a year. In that time, you're probably going to make 3 or 4 times the amount that you put in. And that
Oh,
doesn't really matter, does it? So if you take it out after a year and maybe you lose like zero point 0.2 ETH, it's like, okay, I made like 10 ETH.
okay.
But of course, that only works if it's a high volume pair, which is why I say like sideways movement, high volume pair, best, absolute best. Now, I know they were talking about single side staking because I read like the chats in the group and everything with Gboy. And single
Mm-hmm,
side staking, that is just you putting the token in, so you don't lose any value or gain any value on the token, but you maybe get like emissions.
mm-hmm,
Um, so if there's like a emissions thing farm or whatever, then you get emissions from that. So the team will maybe supply, I don't know, I'm not sure what the total cap of like the amount of Gboy, but let's just say there's a billion Gboy and you stake and in the staking pool, they've put maybe 50 million Gboy. So
mm-hmm,
everyone that stakes, single side staking, they're going to get part of that 50 million over time and however long they're going to release it. If there's like 5,000 released every day and you 1% of the pool, you're going to get 1% of that 5,000 every day. You don't face any real risk because you can always take out the amount of GBO you put in. The only risk you might face is if GBO pumps, you don't have it liquid, so you can't sell immediately.
mm,
So that's the risk there again, but it's less risky in the point of impermanent loss because you're not going to have your G boy now it pumps. You have to go unstake your position, which means you lose some of your G boy that you stake,
mm-hmm.
that you provided liquidity with, and then you sell. You
No.
lose twice. Whereas compared to with a single side stake, you might go maybe be a few minutes late because you have to unstake and everything if there's no lockup, and
Mm-hmm.
then sell. You could still potentially get that really good pump. So it's like it's a real funny situation where you have to consider the risk on both sides. Like, am I willing to, could provide liquidity for fees, or am I just going to single sites they can get emissions? Because the emissions are generally always going to be less than what providing liquidity you get you. If
Mm-hmm.
it's a high volume, obviously, volume really determines everything here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'm not really good with this stuff, but yeah, that was a really good. Makes it a little bit more clear because I was wondering what that was. I was like wondering what all this like staking and like liquidity
Mhm.
provided was, and that makes a lot of sense now.
It's very interesting. It's very
Yeah.
complex. I One of the crypto project I work with them, we've been doing liquidity providing for about 2 years or so, managed
Mhm.
liquidity providing. So
Mhm.
people would buy like NFTs from us, and then that funds would go into liquidity positions, and then every week we'd like distribute the fees. gained
Mhm.
within that week. I know when we started, like we were making so good on the fees, like up to 5, 15, 20% in a week. That was crazy times. But that was when we had like a little funds, like under 100K. Then as things ballooned out and we were managing more funds, it kind of got a little harder because impermanent loss was more often, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then things kind of fizzled out. But it's a interesting thing when you think about all the things that go into providing liquidity, to being an LP provider, to farming and staking and all of these things. Like there's so many things to consider, and you really have to figure out, is it worth it? At the end of the
Yeah.
day. I'm looking
Yeah.
at like Jibo as an example. Um, in the 1 day volume, it's 217,000. That's really good. Not gonna lie, that's really good. For the new token, that's real good. Just being a 1% liquidity provider, you're probably making such good fees. But being a 1% liquidity provider is the problem. Like how much you gotta have to do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But
So
okay.
I wanted to say, like, what were some of the things that you wanted to talk about? Because, like, for me, like, the most interesting thing that happened this week was, like, Gboy launching the token and then the Doodles reveal.
Two piece. Then I think, wasn't there some more news from Kalshi side? Yes, yes,
I
yes, Kalshi.
what's it called? She?
Yeah, so they pushed out this feature. What was it called? I know in gambling they call it a parlay. So basically you place multiple bets on your
Mm-hmm.
previous bets, basically. So you make one bet, then you place a second bet that kind of either goes with it or goes against it, and then you place a bet on top of that. So in gambling they call that a parlay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they pushed out this feature this week, and we all know how Kalshi has been saying, we're not a gambling app, we're not a gambling app, we're not a gambling app. But
But they want to do
some of
everything that gambling apps do, and it's like,
yeah,
okay.
and some of the promotional material literally had the word parlay in it. Literally had the word. But they were like all of the people with the thingy, the badge, the Kalshi badge were just out here being like, no, we're not gambling, it's not gambling, it's not the same thing, a parlay, and what we're doing is so different. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just like, God, you people
And then they're
literally
going
put out stuff that says that is.
Yeah, and then they're going to have their little ads about legal sports betting in all 50 states. Okay, why can't you just admit? Because it's like, it just doesn't sound good.
They
It
also,
doesn't
oh my,
sound good to admit that Kalshi is gambling, and it is gambling. Like, I don't care what all the people that have a Kalshi badge say, because I feel like the only people that really insist that Kalshi is not gambling is the people that have a badge.
yeah, I mean,
And
they
it's
paid to
probably like
insist that these things.
their bosses are like, you better go on Twitter today and tell everybody this is not gambling.
I can imagine, what was that one guy? There was one guy that used to like make really good threads. What was his name now
It's probably
again?
Star Platinum because I saw
Star
you
Platinum,
talking
yes. Oh man, he started really pissing me off recently.
with the Kalshi stuff.
No, just the content he's been pushing out. It's so
Yeah,
brain dead, so bad. It's just like he used to make good content, and now it's like as soon as he got any sort of following, and
yeah,
you got the Kalshi badge, it's like as soon as he signed with Kalshi, all of his content has just gone real bad. It's just like it's horrible. It makes no
yeah,
sense. He's just like every second post is a shit post, and everything else under than that is just defending Kalshi. Oh,
yeah.
Serenity says it's all gambling. 100%, man. It's all gambling, like literally. They're trying to so hard to cope that it's not gambling, because they know the moment they admit that it is, they lose the lawsuit instantly. So that's kind of one of the
Yeah.
main things that we have to take note of here. With Kasha, yes, they were 100% advertising that it's legal sports betting in all 50 states or whatever it was.
Hmm.
They put those in their ads, but if they admit now publicly, outside of the ads, that it is gambling, then they immediately lose their lawsuit. So they have to do everything in their power to kind of try to change the idea that
Yeah.
it's gambling. So they have to constantly have their people, all the people with the badges trying to claim, no, it's not gambling, it's this or it's that, it's prediction markets, it's making predictions on things, it's not
Not
real
the day.
gambling. Gambling is so different. Gambling is this, but we do this, and it's like,
Yeah.
do y'all
I
even
think
know what y'all saying?
yeah, I think their biggest defense against the fact that it's like, when they try to convince people that it's not gambling, it's like, but you can do research. Like they're like, you could like
You can do research in
do
gambling too.
research. It's like, okay, you're still gambling. I don't care.
No, it's like, do you know what sports betting is? Do you understand that if I'm going to be betting on this horse named Jessica, and Jessica is going to run in a race on Saturday at Calcium Museum, I'm going to go do all my research on Jessica. I'm going to find out when Jessica was born, what breed Jessica is, how many races Jessica has done, what's Jessica's age right now, what does Jessica eat every day, who's training Jessica, how much training does she do? All of these things. I'm going to go find it all out, man, because I need to know that Jessica is
Still
going to be in
gambling.
tip top shape on Saturday. If she's not in top shape, I'm going to lose. That's research. And I can go
Yeah.
bet on her. I can go
Yeah.
gamble on her. I can go take 10K right now. I mean, I don't have, but I can go take 10K right now and get put it all in on Jessica and be like, Jessica's going to win Saturday. Jessica's going to take first place, and y'all better know it. That's gambling. I
That
can
is
go do
still
the same on
gambling.
Kalshi. I can go do the exact same on Kalshi.
Yeah, definitely.
How is it not
I
gambling?
love how I love how you named the horse Jessica. It's like usually like horses are named like pickles or like fire pants, chocolate chip cookie, like
Jessica's a
horses
good
have
name. Okay.
weird names. Jessica's killing it.
I got a good naming. I got good naming skills.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so like I don't know, it's so weird. They I mean, I understand why they're doing it, why they're rejecting it, why they're trying so hard to change the narrative about them being a gambling website. They kind of have to, or they are going to get hit so hard and so quickly and going to get served in court almost immediately. So they have to really try to push it and try to be like, no, it's not, it's not, it's not, and get as many people out there to try to believe them on that.
Hmm.
Whether people actually believe them or not is the real question, which I don't think anyone is. But as long as all of their affiliates and their socials point to them saying that it's not gambling, during the discovery phase, which has called all what's it called? All lawsuits, have to go through discovery if the judge accepts. So, someone has to open the lawsuit, has to be like, here's all my evidence on why I want to open this lawsuit. And they have to be extremely detailed and have like 100 documents worth of information and say like, this is our complaint and this is why we want to sue them. The judge
Hmm.
then has to go over, look at all of those things with a team of lawyers or whatever, and then decide, okay, there's enough legal standing here, there's enough grounds for this lawsuit to go forward. After that, they have to go into a discovery phase, and the discovery phase is where everything gets aired out, basically.
Hmm.
So, the team on both sides, the lawyers on both sides have to go out and try to find evidence on every possible thing. The people that open the lawsuit has to try to find as much evidence as possible pointing towards things. They have to find people that can testify. They have to find people that can stand witness. They have to find people that have been affected. So they have to find as much information, as much people as possible, so that once trial starts, they will have like 300 pages worth of information. I have like 30, 50, 100 witnesses and all of these things that can come stand in the trial, that they can cross question and be like, okay, why do you think it's gambling? What has your experience been? What has the marketing told you? So they have to have all of these things. And that's the discovery phase. During the discovery phase, they air out all your dirty laundry. So for Kalshi especially, their socials can be their biggest weakness, which is why
Mhm.
they have to make sure that on all these socials, everyone with a badge, they
Yeah.
have to vehemently refuse that it's not gambling, because you can go screenshot. You can take a
Yeah.
screenshot. You can take a video. Imagine the CEO of Couch is like, yeah, no, it is gambling. As soon as that's brought up in the court, and look, Your Honor, even the CEO herself has admitted that Kaushi is gambling. Game over. Discovery is done. They lose. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons why they have to and repeatedly refuse to admit that it is gambling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
so
that makes a lot
yeah.
of sense. That's why they're so like adamantly trying to refuse that it is gambling, which I understand. And I think that
Yeah.
they're, as I said, I just think they're gonna go to court. They're gonna have to pay whatever they're gonna have to pay to
Hmm.
the government or whatever, and then they're just gonna keep being able to do what they're doing. I don't think
Yeah,
they're gonna
definitely.
stop them. I think they're just gonna be able to keep doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting though. It'll be a little bit of drama on the timeline for a while longer. I think
Oh
it's
yeah.
going to be interesting to see how everything plays out, what the courts decide.
Mhm.
It would be nice if we could see all the legal proceedings, but we'll probably only get like the what like the reports, because
Yeah.
it has everything has to be documented, so we'll likely only get that. And any journalist that's maybe allowed in the courtroom for the trials, they will be able to report on it. But yeah, should be a really interesting thing. It will really set the rules for what makes a prediction market and what makes a gambling website, which I
Yeah.
think is going to be the biggest part of it, and it's
Yeah.
going to be the biggest takeaway, because then we'll know, like, in the law's eyes, this is what
Mhm.
a prediction market is, this is what a
Mhm.
gambling website is, and the distinction between that is going to determine whether or not we'll see more prediction markets and how many more we'll see,
Yeah.
or if people are just going to stop because it's going to be too much of a legal hassle.
Yeah. And I even think that, for example, Polymarket, I don't think Polymarket is actually allowed in the US.
No,
If
no, they are not.
okay, there you go. So it's
They
like
are
it
trying.
is, they're trying, but Kashi basically is going to set like a precedent. I think that's what it's called in English, where
Yes, yes.
basically like they're going to the court is going to have to figure out, like you said, what exactly is a prediction market and how does it work? What states is it going to be allowed? And because if the court
Hmm.
decides that Kalshi is actually gambling, then Kalshi is not going to be allowed in all 50 states.
Hmm.
Um, and that like the thing is that like people don't stop and think what the implications are if Kalshi is just allowed to continue without any restraints. So it's like basically because it is actually gambling, if you have it legal in all 50 states and you do not verify how old people are, that's the first thing.
Hmm.
Like anybody can go on there, it doesn't matter how old they are, because we know because one of their badge like calls was a 15-year-old. So, and he did use the platform. So it's like people, first of all, they don't check people's age. And so if you just have something like this allowed everywhere, it's like, it's just not regulated and it needs to be regulated. And the government and the US is going to do everything in their power to regulate it. So it's like it, and people just don't think about that. It's because it's like it's Kalshi is a competitor to like basically all the casinos in the US. And it's like if people didn't have to go gamble in a different state, because like that does happen a lot, like people go into the next state over just so they could go to the casino. It's like,
Hmm.
or if they could just do it at home on their phone or on their computer, like I don't know. It just is like, it just is not like the people just don't think about the fact that the US government is never going to allow something like this to go on unregulated. It's going to have to be regulated, and they're going to have to pay their fair share of their profits every year to the government. And,
Mm-hmm.
I think that what's going to probably happen is they might get restricted in some states because like gambling in the US is not legal in all 50 states, obviously. And so I think that they will probably get restricted in some areas, and they're probably going to be allowed to be like available in the states where gambling is actually legal. I think that's probably the worst outcome for them because I think they do want to be allowed in all states, but
They
some
definitely
regulation
do.
has to happen.
Yep. I mean, how else are they going to make money of all 50 states if they're not in all
Right.
50 states?
Yeah.
And then, okay, so another crypto game died out this week, or is closing up shop. I think it was called Supervive or something like that.
Somebody told me it
Super.
was not a Web3 game. I was literally like talking to somebody, and they were like, "But that wasn't a crypto game." And I was like, "Really? But
Is
what
it?
was it called?"
Hmm,
Let me find it because it was somewhere in my comments over here. And I was just surprised because I thought I was so convinced it was like a Web3 game because we were
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah, me too.
I think
Interesting. So I wonder then, did they raise in Web3? Let me ask Grok. Let me ask the Grok.
Supervive. It says playable on PC.
Yeah, on Steam. Steam powered.
Yeah. So, and why were they? Do you
Interesting.
know why they were closing?
I mean, I didn't watch like the video and all of that stuff because I'm so tired. I'm so tired of all of these companies just being like, oh no, we're closing for this reason and that
Oh no,
reason.
we're
It's just like, I
closing.
don't believe it.
Oh no, we're closing. We ran out of money. I mean, it looks cool. All their preview videos look really cool, but it's not like a game that I'll play. And anyway, somebody told
Yeah,
me in a comment, they were like, well, that is not actually a Web3 game. But I mean, I guess
interesting.
it was just a normal game. I don't know, but
I don't know because I saw a lot of the people that are talking about it are very Web3. So I was like, okay, I
right?
guess that's
So I
another
assumed.
Web3 game.
I just assumed that it was a Web3 game because, I was seeing it everywhere.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm asking Grok if it was funded maybe through Web3 because maybe that would be the only connection. Like,
Yeah.
I was actually speaking to the people from the project that I work with, the one that does the LP provisions. So I was speaking to the guy that runs things, the founder, various. Um, we should have a conversation with him at some point too, because he's a really smart guy. He knows a lot of
Hmm.
cool things.
Hmm.
But I was speaking to him, I was like, we changing a lot of things with this project. I don't name names because then people are going to be like, "Oh, you're just shelling." I don't want to do that. When we speak with him, then we can mention the name.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm just going to say the project. So I was speaking to him about like we're moving over to like a DAO structure, right, in
Hmm.
January. So the DAO is going to take over all of the funding and everything, and then we're going to have like a separate entity that will the labs, which will build out all the software for the DAO, which would power the token, provide value to the holders and stuff like that. And I was like, they've built a game before, right? I think it is called Slipstream, fully playable, actually a really cool game. I played it a little bit because you can run it locally. Very fun little game, cute. It's like a dragon, you fly around, kind of like Mario Kart, but with dragons
Hmm.
instead,
Yeah.
whelps, dragons. So it's like they couldn't get funding because at the time, this was like 2021,
Mm-hmm.
all of like the VCs had all these stupid requirements, like, oh, you must have a in-house development team, you must have all this other things. I was like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But then it's like you listen to that and you're just like, damn, people raise 15 million, right? They build horrible games because a lot of the games that are shut down are so bad. Oh my
Yeah.
God, they are so bad. I mean, they should not have come into existence to begin with. They have in-house development teams, which is why they got VC funding probably. But the game was so bad that even with that VC funding, it went nowhere. Whereas, you have teams that have likely built so much better games, maybe smaller teams, four-person teams, indie games, indie dev teams, and they're so good, but they can't get funding because, for whatever reason. I was just like, it would be so good if someone raised in Web3, sell NFTs or whatever, raise 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, whatever, acquire maybe 2 to 3 indie game dev teams and
Mm-hmm.
whatever IPs they have, and push that out as like, use that funding that you got through the raises for marketing, push that out, have those games generate funds in the Web2 world, and just translate that value over to the Web3. Like that would
Mm-hmm.
be such a smarter way of going about things. Or because they also acquired, so they're part of your team, the in-house teams now. Whatever IP they've had before, you acquire that too. So you pay for all of those things, you give them their salaries, and you get all of this games you get to push out there. You don't even need to relate it to your project. The people, you know, token holders don't even really need to know about the games because they might see it, they might not see it. It doesn't matter if they're going to play it. You're not pushing it out purely to the Web3 world and trying to force it down your holders' throats. You have to play this game because how are we going to provide value for you? How are we going to push it out there? You have to go tell everyone about it. Like, bro, that's cope. You should not be advertising in Web3 to begin with. If you build in a game, games are generally Web2. You can add on Web3 features as an add-on. You can have Web3 as a different thing. You can give NFT holders, like if you're doing like a monthly, like a lot of games have the monthly, like what's it, passes and stuff like that. Give your holders access to free passes for the year. That's not so
Mm-hmm.
hard. Give your
Right.
your holders like in-game skins and stuff like that. That's not hard. Give them maybe some part of the revenue share, but advertise to the Web3 world. Use Web2. I mean, to the Web2 world. Use Web2 advertising. Build games for Web2. Don't build games for Web3. It's stupid. It's redundant. It's the most idiotic thing you can possibly do, and so many teams do it. So many teams focus all of their marketing on Web3. So many teams focus all of their marketing on, oh, this play to airdrop campaign. The only people going to do it is Web3 people. And they're going to do it because they want the bloody airdrop. They're not actual players. Real players are going to come from Web2, but real players are going to come from you advertising on all these bloody free applications that do freemium advertising. That's where you're going to get players. You spend 100K on that and you're probably going to get like 10, 20,000 players. They might not all stick around. Retention might be like only 500 out of that, but that's 500 potential paying customers. You might have
Yeah.
20,000 people that have downloaded the game. 500 of them stick around, but maybe 300 have at least made a one-time purchase. 50 people are going to make recurring purchases. Why the fuck would you advertise to Web3? Why?
I
Why
don't
would you
know.
pay KOLs? Why would you pay Web3 marketing agencies?
I don't know. And it doesn't make sense to me either. And it's like I've always like asked myself that is like because everything in Web3 costs more. So like if you wanted to do like normal advertising or whatever you're trying to do, I don't know, promote your game, whatever you're doing, if you doing it with Web3, people they're gonna charge you more. It's just how it is. Even like as like if you are somebody who wants to get like commission work, commissioning Web3 artists who usually
Mhm.
work with like crypto people, it costs more. It is cheaper to find a Web2 artist and like commission them, and they usually do same work, doesn't matter, some artists are good, some are worse, doesn't matter, but usually you can find like a Web2 artist that you can commission for cheaper, and it's just like Web3 just costs a lot more. And then the other problem that I have with the space is like paying calls. It's like, and just paying them just because they have a lot of followers.
Mm-hmm.
Just because this person has a lot of followers doesn't mean that it's going to be good for you to have them show whatever your product is. And it's like, I've been I think I've been a really strong advocate for like teams finding the people who are in the space who maybe don't have as many followers but are genuine in their interest and stuff. So it's like if you go to somebody's account on X and you just see them like just info farming, why would you want to pay that person to show also your like who reads that content? And I still don't like, I don't have an answer to, I don't think anybody does. And it's like a lot of what I found out is that a lot of these people also have like botted accounts because it's like, the bots give them engagement. I guess that pushes them on
Yeah.
the leaderboards. And I don't know. It's just I don't understand, but it's kind of like I've never understood a lot of like people who do um how do you what is it called, advising. It's like these people
Yeah.
advise, and it's like I literally like know like of at least one of the projects that I was close to with like the founders. They had to pay out a huge chunk of funds from Mint to one of their advisors just because this person was like associating their name with them, and it really didn't do anything for them. Like they would have had the same hype, they would have had the same interest in the project if this person was not involved. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like there is no like person out there that can advise you and their advising is worth like 50 or 100K. That is ridiculous. Anybody who's asking that of you, you should just say no. just
Yeah.
just say no. Like they don't have like they're not gonna bring more like the value that they're gonna bring to you is probably gonna be close to zero for like the price tag that they're asking. And it
If I'm
happens so
paying you 50K, you better bring in like 100K at least at the minimum.
right. And they
Bring
don't.
in double the revenue of what I'm giving you.
And
Otherwise,
they
there's no
don't.
point to it.
Yeah, and I don't believe they do. They don't because these projects wouldn't be going broke afterwards.
True.
One thing that I keep
Very true.
thinking about, and I'm going to bring it back to the new co-founders real quick, just because that team, like they are so genuine with everything they do, and it's like every time I hear them speak on interviews and stuff like that or live streams, they always point out the fact that they like got together and they literally like figured out what was the things that were frustrating to them in the space, and they're trying actively to fix that and like all that stuff, and they voice all these frustrations that I have with the space. That team constantly voices them. It's like on every interview, every time they speak, whatever they're doing, it's like I always like get reminded why I like them so much, and it's because they literally like think the same way that I do, and they have the same frustrations as me. And I've never seen that before from any founder. I really have not, and that's like a genuine thing and that's why I like talking about them, because I 100% believe that they're genuine. And it's like, people say, well, of course they're doing it for the money. Of course, it's like, yeah, they also would like to make money like everybody else. But at least I believe that their intentions and like everything that they're trying to do is like a lot more genuine than anybody else that I've seen in the space. And even this thing about like advisors and calls and stuff like that. I was listening to Austin last night and he was just talking about all the like with doodles. He was explaining how they all got to experience this like really shady and like dark side of crypto, and like everything that goes on like behind the scenes, and how it frustrated them. And I feel like it
Hmm.
comes out in everything they do, like everything that they do with their community and how they carry themselves and how they execute things. That frustration comes out and like how they deliver stuff. And that's why I'm like so excited about everything they do. And I just can't stop talking about them. And it's like that's how it's like, you don't need to pay people at the end of the day. If you're doing something that people are actually excited about, if you have a real product, you don't need to pay calls. The calls are just going to come up out of nowhere
Drain
and just
you.
talk about you.
Yeah.
At
Look,
least the
I
ones
mean,
that are genuine.
at the end of the day, the most powerful form of, advertising is word of mouth. Because when
Right?
people like what you're doing, they're going to go tell other people about it. And if those people like it because their friend told them about it, or like, if I go and tell you about something that I like, you're
Yeah.
immediately going to have a positive impression. That's
Right?
just because I'm coming to you, I'm telling you, like, I'm really excited about this. This is really cool.
Yeah.
You're immediately going to have a positive impression. That's word of mouth. If you
Yeah.
like it from there, you're going to go tell someone else too. That's already like two people in this line, and I'm just one person. And
Yeah.
and for you don't see the same kind of thing with KOLs, because at the end of the day, most of the people already kind of see them as shady. You look at what they're promoting, you're just like, it's probably cool, but you kind of shady. So I don't really know if I want to be, involved with it, if I want to check it out. Maybe like 1 in 10 people is going to check it out, but they're not likely to be converted into a paying
Yeah.
customer. So at the end of the day, you're wasting your money with them. And a lot of them have really bad vanity metrics where like their metrics just don't make sense. Like it's overinflated and stuff like that. And you're just like, yeah, man, it's a waste of money at the end of the day. Um,
Yeah.
I've worked with now multiple projects also, and we've, paid like YouTubers as an example, crypto YouTubers for like videos and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
oh, man, it's so bad. And I remember one case specifically, right? Where we paid this guy 2 grand.
Mhm.
We went through a marketing agency, we paid the marketing agency was supposed to get all of the KOLs, then pay the KOLs. They ended
Mhm.
up paying some of the people only 50%. So those YouTubers ended up coming to us afterwards and be like, yo, I only got 50% of my payment, I need the other 50%. One of the people in particular, like he asked for 2K, he didn't even bring in $20 of value. We paid him 2K and he didn't even bring in $20 of value. We know this because we gave him tracking links. Every single YouTuber, every single person that went through this marketing campaign had a tracking link for how much money they've raised for us. And barely any of them raised anything. Like we paid them 2K and they maybe bring in $20. We paid them like, and it's so, after that I was just like,
So bad.
I went to the project founder. I was like, I feel like we just wasted a bunch of money on all these people. And it was like, honestly, Alpha, I agree. But it was done. The damage is done. We put out the money, we paid all these people. There was nothing we could do. We could only see how things played out afterwards. And like, as much as I wanted to just go back and tell people, yeah, we're not paying you, you didn't bring any value.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we we did what they already paid. So
Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunate.
And
So
that's
that's something to keep in mind. You never know what kind of value people are going to bring, which is why I highly believe in that. Like, if you're going to be paying KOLs and stuff like this, or anyone to promote you, give them tracking links and make it based on affiliate commission. If
yeah.
they bring in $1,000, then they get 150. If they bring in 10K,
Right?
then you get 1,500. The amount what they put in is what they will get out. I firmly believe in affiliate commission is the best way to go about it. And affiliate commissions are relatively easy, 10, 15%. Who's not going to be happy with that?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just like in real life when I've I've like my IRL jobs have always been in sales.
Hmm.
I'm really good at sales somehow. I don't know. I found out that that's like something that I actually and I like doing it. I love connecting with people. I love talking. And so I have fun in sales more than any other job.
Hmm.
But that's like normal in sales. It's like, you work for a company and your commission is like what, like 5-10% usually, like not that much, but at the same time, you you do make you do make like decent money. I don't know. It just depends on what field you work in, but that's like pretty normal, and I agree with you that that should be how it is with calls as well. You should be able to track how much money they're bringing in. And I don't know why nobody's doing that. And that's also something that I've wondered. For example, with like platforms like Z. And that's why I really, really want to try and get somebody from Zeke on to have like an interview, because I'm so curious about the leaderboards that they have. And then specifically, I was thinking maybe like they would be a way for me to like figure this out on my own. But like I wondered, since for example, Clanosaurs, Clanosaurs, right? That's how you would say it,
Dinosaurs,
Clanosaurs.
dinosaurs.
So with Clanosaurs, I wondered if after they released the leaderboard on Zeet, if that resulted in more sales of their NFTs. And I don't know how to find that out. I don't know how to check if like the if it translates into more volume on their NFT collection. Cuz isn't
I
that the
mean,
ultimate goal?
I
Cuz if
suppose the
more
simplest
people are
way,
mhm.
suppose the simplest way to look at it is to actually look at the NFT collections volume itself. So like
Mhm.
bring it up close to like next to like the thing from Zed as an example.
Yeah.
So you have like the cleaner source volume, you check it out, how was the trend going, like before it
Mhm.
went started on Zed. Then
Mhm.
once it hit Zed, once the Zed leaderboard went live, did the volume pump?
Volume
If it
pick
did
up.
it pump on the same day? Did it take a
Yeah.
few days? Because then you can kind of have you would have an I suppose it's not there's technically no way to physically tell. There's no like guaranteed way, but you can infer based on like how the volume progressed from the time that it hits it, and then did that volume stick around for a long period of
Yeah.
time? So like I would imagine that for most of it was like volume likely picks up like likely shortly after the Z leaderboard, and then it dies down after a while because people are
Yeah.
only going to be interested for so long, unless it's some people that are like pushing out a lot of content and they're very popular. But
Yeah.
I would imagine that it likely did have a bit of a pump in volume, how many people buying, selling, whatever, being active on it. The price likely increased for a bit, but then some point it likely hit the ceiling, and that's like the ceiling of Info 5, I guess you
And
could
that's
say.
what I was trying to that's what my plan was. I was going to pull up to figure out when the Clanosaurus leaderboard went live, and then I was going to look at their collection on like one of the marketplaces and just see like how the volume has been doing since they have the leaderboard. Um but also like I was wondering because, like, whenever the leaderboard went live specifically for Clanosaurs, I remember I was like being a little frustrated because um, I was seeing a lot of posts on the timeline. All of a sudden, they were all like talking about Clanosaurs, and they were talking about the big projects in the space, and of course, like I'm on Azuki Maxi, so I was like, why are people not talking about Azuki like as much as they used to? Like, what is going on? Like, everybody's mentioning like Clanosaurs, and they're putting them in with like they were kind of like bundling up with like the rest of big projects, and it's fine. And I don't have nothing against like Clanosaurs. I think they're doing great on Solana. They're like one of the like established projects in the space, and that's fine. But then me, like for myself, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, why aren't so many people like mentioning Azuki anymore? And then somebody was like, yeah, well, Klino has a leaderboard on Zeke. And I was like, well,
Mhm.
that makes sense now. But then doesn't that take away like a little bit of like the genuineness of it all? I feel like if people like have this realization like I did, it's like, oh well, Klano has like a leaderboard, that's why more people are talking about them. Then it's not like, then it kind of like kills the vibe a little bit, because it's like if it was all genuine attention because you really wanted to talk about them, you would talk about them. And that's the case with like chimpers, because I've always seen chimpers on the timeline. Everybody always talks about chimpers is like doing so good, or they're just whatever. They're like a very organic like project, and like people just like talking about them, and that's fine. And then like then you know, but you know it's genuine. But like I feel like with
Hmm.
Klano, it was almost like it was influenced by the fact that there's a leaderboard, and then you're like, oh well, it's just because they have a leaderboard. And I feel like that just kind of ruins it a little bit. And I know that, I don't know, that's my a little bit of my argument against InfoFi, because as soon as you realize that people are talking about something just because they are expecting a reward of some sort, it just kind of like tells you everything you need to know. You like assume that, oh okay, well they're not like completely genuine.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that because it's like soon as you know, okay, no, but they have an InfoFi program, then obviously a lot of that, volume, a lot of that people talking about it is not genuine. It's very much forced because people are trying to climb a leaderboard. And then it detracts a lot away from the project being genuine at that point, I would say. Like it just seems like once you do that, you're taking away a lot of your credibility
Mhm.
because now we know people talking about you is not because they like what you're doing or you've done something cool and now they want to speak about it just because they want to. It's it's literally like buying someone's favor. And even if you do that in real life, like you have a friend and your friend comes to tell you about this really cool product or,
Mhm.
like this new something like this new phone or new supplement, and they come telling you about it. They tell you all the cool things about it. You're like, okay, that's cool. It's your friend. You're thinking, okay, dope. He's telling me about something that he likes, or she's telling me about something that she likes, only to find out afterwards. But she only told you about it because they were incentivized to.
Right.
You're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I'm ever listening to anything from this person again because
Right.
I know they're only going to look at things, only going to tell me about things if there's something in it for them. Then
Yeah.
you lose, that person lost all trust, all credibility with you. And that's the same with InfoFile. It's the same with any NFT projects. If someone's telling you about it just because they genuinely like it, you're going to feel like, okay, cool, I'm going to have a look. I want to get involved. But if someone's telling you about it because they're incentivized, ah, that's a betrayal. That's a
Right. It feels like
that's
that.
I would say it is. I would say it is.
It
But that's
feels
my
like,
opinion.
and
So
huh?
as
I do
I would
believe,
definitely say,
yeah, I do believe that um Zeet is a little bit better than other platforms. Um, just because whenever the Nuco leaderboard launched, I saw, well, first of all, Sins was on top of the leaderboard. Um, and he is not like, I mean, I don't want to downplay what he does, and that's not the point, but he what is his account is like about 8-9 thousand followers, but he was able to be basically on top of that leaderboard. And he didn't only talk about Nuko, he talks about other stuff on his profile. So it showed me that. And then whenever I was looking at the people who were kind of like in the top 10, top 20, there was a lot of smaller accounts on there, which was really nice to see, because it showed me that it's possible to basically be on top of a leaderboard even if your account is not as big as like some other people. And it's like, of course, like the top person on the Zeke leaderboard was like one of the founders, but it's because like they literally all they talk about is Nuko on their profiles, so it just makes sense. But apart from like the founders, like Sins is like the top creator, and it showed me that like as I said, it's like more it's a more accurate, I feel like it's just more accurate, like, and you don't, and it showed me that you don't have to be the biggest account to be able to climb up on a leaderboard, because usually with the rest of these like InfoFi platforms like Cookie.fun and like, what's the other one, like Cookie, and then the yapping one, I don't know. The
That's
ones that
Kaito.
yap. I don't know.
Yapping Kaito.
Okay, Kaito. Yeah, they're the ones that yap. It's like it always seemed like to me that it's always the same big accounts on top of those leaderboards. Like you basically have to be part of the top, like, biggest accounts on CT to even try to get on some of these leaderboards, which is kind of discouraging because it's like I don't have the same pull, or like I don't have the same um influence as like freaking Whale. If Whale
Hmm.
decided to talk about anything, he could climb any leaderboard that he wanted, no matter what he said, because I think that he just gets a lot of engagement, no matter what he talks about. And it's like, no, it's funny, he doesn't talk about G Boy and Yuko, so there's a lesson in that.
I mean, he only
He
spoke about it when he was fighting it.
was flooding it.
Yeah, he was fighting it a while back. He was talking about like how certain projects are so extractive, but
Ah,
everything was less about J-Boy. And I remember it very well. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I know it was like he was talking about Nuco, and he was like, yeah, these whatever projects and this and that. And I was
he
just
didn't
like,
get paid.
man, salty because you didn't get paid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he didn't get paid, and like I don't wanna,
So sad
I
for
don't
him,
wanna be,
Let us
yeah,
let us cry for him.
I don't wanna be like negative about, like I don't wanna negatively represent Yuko at all. So I'm trying to behave myself as much as I can, but I don't like Whale, okay? I don't like him. He only talks
Oh,
about
don't
stuff
worry.
he's paid for.
Don't don't worry. We know how much you love him. We know it. We know it in our hearts. In our heart of hearts, we know how much you love Whale. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you got anything else for us tonight?
I got one more thing, but let us make this quick because like we are almost 2 hours in already. So our last one is actually I have a really interesting. I need to just share the screen quickly. So I came across this guy Ben
Mhm.
Bashe on X earlier
Mhm.
through someone that actually talked to quite a bit. Sinius, yes, he's one of the people, like one of the team from Ambire, and I've spoken about Ambire a few times already. I will speak about things like Ambire and Nexus because they are not projects in the typical sense, the infrastructure. So I just
Mhm.
like want to make that clear. I will speak about infrastructure, but I will not speak about projects directly because that's a shell.
Mhm.
I know people are going to call that a shell, so I will not do that. But I will speak about things like Ambire, EIL,
Mhm.
stuff that the EF is maybe working on, but I will not speak about projects directly. So just in case anyone decides to be like, oh, but you're speaking about Ambi, isn't that a project? It's for infrastructure. Please, there's a difference. So I came across this guy earlier on X, and like one of the posts that I saw from him was him saying that like crypto UX is cope. UX is cope, but there is hope. He didn't say that. I think his post was like crypto UX is cope. You can't expect just because you have have an improved UX that people are going to flock over to crypto. And he's absolutely right.
Mhm.
Um, Funny enough, like I replied to him, I was like, I don't disagree with some of what you're saying. I also disagree with some of it, but then I agree with a
Mhm.
lot of other things. And we like had a little cute little conversation there. He was very, level-headed, which is I think is amazing. First impressions make a lot of really impact things. So you said crypto has made great strides on scaling UX and chain abstraction. And while there's more work to be done, there's smooth over UX alone will not bring crypto to the promised land. Only PMF will.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's a very loaded phrase. That's a very loaded paragraph right there. And is right on a lot of these things. So firstly, saying that crypto has made great strides on scaling UX and chain abstraction. So scaling, crypto is a lot more scalable now. We can do more transactions. We can do more things on chain. We have multiple layer twos. Ethereum has, done a huge upgrade lately. Avalanche has done a huge upgrade. We've seen some chains that, like Adena, basically dying out after their recent shenanigans. And in, Solana's also now recently, what is it? Fire Dancer has gone live. So we've seen a lot of these scaling improvements. And then on the UX and the chain abstraction. So Ethereum has had chain abstraction recently, the AA accounts, abstract accounts, where your wallet isn't really an EOA, it's a smart contract. So all of these things kind of impacted the throughput of the blockchain of Web3. It's impacted how you can do things, made things easier to do, like in so many ways. But at the same time, there's more to be done on that. Things could definitely be improved. We can have a smoother UX, but that's not going to bring the promised adoption. That's not going to bring, a lot of people when they speak about like, oh, crypto is just hard to use. That's how we don't have more users. It's so much of a pain. Wallets are so difficult to use. We have all these things that we have to do. Like we were talking about last night. We were speaking about like how much of a pain it is to, sign a transaction. You have to sign an approval, then you have to do your transaction. That's a massive pain. It's a huge like it's a pain point. No one really wants to go through like three different transactions to do a swap. You want to do it in one, or you don't really want to notice that you're doing like a transaction. You just want it to be done, quick and easy. But those things exist, those pain points exist. Now let's say we were to remove most of it, like Ambire has as an example, great example. I'll always come back to them because they are the best
Mm-hmm.
example of it. They will remove most of that. You can just sign a transaction, it will do your approvals and everything in one go. Done. Easy peasy. You don't even need to see your wallet address. You can change it to be only like your ENS as example. So like mine is alphacruise.eth. If I wanted to, I could just have my wallet show alphacruise.eth instead of my long ass, crypto wallet name. I don't really particularly want to see that. It's a massive pain. It's hard to remember. You can't remember it. So just use my damn ENS, okay? But doing that, these things will not bring PMF, are not going to bring the promised land. It's not going to bring users. Only PMF or product market fit. Now, what does that mean? He speaks about it a little more here, but so before I suppose I read the rest of it, product market fit refers to your product having market fit, which means what you've produced has a place in the world for people to use, for people to consume. Consumers mean consume. What are they consuming? Your product. If you're
Mm-hmm.
selling sweets, people that eat the sweets are your consumers. If you're selling software, people that buy the software are your consumers. So you have to have something that people want.
Mm-hmm.
Can
For
you
sure.
honestly can we honestly say that people want to have to deal with MetaMask or wallets? Can we honestly say that people want to buy tokens? Can we honestly say that people really want to buy NFTs all of the time? No, they want to buy the art. They don't give a fuck about the word NFT. Like literally, they don't. They really don't. If you didn't have to hear the word NFT, you likely would never bother to talk about it. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just how the crypto world is. It's so focused on all of these technical terms and all of that stuff. It's we don't care. We don't care. Normal users don't care. They really don't. They just want something that they can use. Like and you were talking about Slingshot yesterday. I will again say I never use Slingshot. I don't really know all of the cool features of it and how it worked and all of that stuff. But like you explained yesterday, all you had to do was load it up with USDC and you could buy
Mm-hmm.
any token on any chain instantly. What if you had the same for NFTs? You don't really need to think about the fact that it's an NFT. You just know you buy an art on a collection. You just
Mm-hmm.
know you buy an art on art shot.
Yeah, okay. Can I add something while we're talking about that? Like one of the biggest, okay, so my favorite artists, NFT artists, are actually on Tezos. And I
Okay.
have never bought one of their NFTs because it would not show up in my OpenSea wallet.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So it's like because it's like and it's like for me that's an actual concern. It's like when I
Mm-hmm.
collect art, I don't want to have two separate wallets and one of my main vault wallet to be like viewable on OpenSea where like anybody can click on it and they can scroll through all the art that I have. But if I bought NFTs on Tezos, Tit boober, tit coin. That's allowed. I will allow that fucking tit coin show right there. Hell yeah, buddy. Um, but
Let's
I love
go.
tit. But anyways, got distracted by tits. Anyways, um, so I never bought Tesosart because it would never show up on my OpenSea wallet. And it's like you said, it's like I want all of my art, no matter what chain it is on, to be viewable in one wallet, because for me it's important when people go to my linked wallet, and it's like you can actually find my wallet on my bio on X. And I've put it on there because I want to showcase it. I want people to be able to go see what I collect. And it's like for me it defeats the purpose like of buying an NFT that I can't show people. It's like I want to be able to show it to people. I want it to be all together. And it's like that's a problem for me. Somebody fix it. I'm
Yep.
sorry. Go on.
So, like that's what we're talking about, product market fit. Does your application have a use? Does your application solve a problem? Will people use it? Will people actually want it? That's what you really need. And crypto that doesn't have this. For the most part, crypto, oh my God, that's a whole different thing. But for the most part, people in crypto are so bloody focused on this bubble called crypto that they don't think about the outside world. If you speak to anyone in crypto most of the time, whether it's a crypto project, whatever, they're building not for the outside world. They're not building for Web2. They're not building to make Web2 easier. They're building for crypto. Like, who the fuck needs another DEX? Who the fuck needs another NFT launchpad? Who needs a damn new another token launchpad? Why? Why? It
Right?
doesn't make sense. It has no use case. It has no product market fit. What you're going to say the product market fit is other people in crypto, really? Really, because that's how we're going to scale crypto. Oh, great. Let me just go advertise only to my small community. What about the wider world? What, it's like you living in a village, and the only people you sell your fruit to is other villages where you could have had like chocolate and you could be selling to people in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense. That's crypto. Crypto is stuck in this bubble, in this small little village called crypto, called Web3, where
Yep.
everything is so specific, so built towards that. All the infrastructure is more focused on, oh, let me sell to other crypto people, let me sell to this crypto project and this crypto project. Nothing is really Web2 focused. And that's the biggest frustration, the biggest thing holding crypto back. A lot of people don't want to admit this. A lot of people don't want to even accept that this is a thing, but that's really what it is. And this guy here, what was his name now again? Ben
Ben.
Bosche. He outlines it very well here. So let's go on with his what he said. Thanks to Georges, Henry, Vijay, and Ahmed for early feedback. I sit here and hit publish on this post on a night where Bitcoin has already made new all-time highs, and everything looks ready to send into full bull mode. We've had many of those. And as excited as I am, I want crypto to be finding same power that is agnostic to cycles and manias and delivers genuine value at scale regardless of risk asset market conditions. So, in simpler terms, yes, a pump is great. Yes, a pump could bring the next bull run, but will it? What happens after the pump? What happens after things start dying down? We've seen this time and again. Bitcoin pumps, Ethereum pumps, whatever token pumps, people get excited. And 2 weeks later, everything dies out. Why? Because there's nothing to do with it. Why? Because there's no product market fit. Why? Because there's no products that other people, normies, are going to use. What are you really trying to tell me that the only use case we're having crypto is to buy tokens? Really?
Mm.
Is How is that not insane to people? Does that not drive people insane? Are you really trying to tell me the only thing you can do in crypto is buy bloody tokens? The only thing you can do in crypto is buy Bitcoin and hold it for the rest of your life. Are you retarded? Like, it doesn't make sense. See crypto, as he's saying, staying power, staying power that is agnostic to cycles and manias. Just because Bitcoin pumping doesn't mean that you should be excited for crypto. You should be excited for crypto. You should be excited for the Web3 world, for tokenization, because it has an impact in your life. Like a great example is recently, what was that? Some islands or whatever decided to change their banking system to be
Right.
crypto only. Thank you. Finally, product market fit. Why
I
did they
okay.
do this? Why did they
Even
do it?
like uh I mean, even like a more better, like more personal example, a more personal example of why crypto is so good for everybody. It's like, remember when like you sent me money to get you the discount for like X, like in the
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to send money across the world in like seconds, and we like resolved like this issue like so quickly. Like I remember growing up as like a child of like immigrant parents. So my parents didn't live in where I lived. Like they left whenever I was very young. They went to work in another country, and they had to like every once in a while they would send me money, but back then like they couldn't afford to send me the money through like the standard like what's it called, like Western Union, because usually like here like you could use Western
Yeah.
Union, and it was very expensive to do that. Like you would lose money trying to use Western Union. So my parents would like, I remember they would sew the money into toys, and they would send it in like a package. It's like, it was like way back in the 90s, I think, the early like 2000s. um it was like 20 years ago. I'm old, man. But I remember that, and it's like, now when I think about crypto, and it's like you could just send money to people in seconds, like they can have it immediately, and that's like that changes lives. It
That
actually
does.
changes lives, and it's like incredible. It is, and we take it for granted. Anyways, I'm sorry.
We we really do. We really do. Like, honestly, that alone is a really good product market fit. If a lot of the banking system we use now switched over to using crypto as the banking, things would be so much easier. So things would be a lot faster. But we'll also have to remember that that's going to take a lot of the AML, anti-money laundering, out of the equation, which is why a lot of banks haven't adopted crypto. But like you say, that like the fact that I can send you money. I'm in South Africa, the bottom of South Africa. You in like, was it like Europe or
Europe,
something? You in basically halfway across, and I sent you
yeah,
money in like 3 seconds.
right.
As long as it
It's
took
crazy.
me to click and seeing that was there.
Yeah,
There's so much more to do with crypto, just being able to transfer money though. There's so much more we can do with crypto, buying a token or
right.
buying an NFT. Those don't exactly have product market fits. They don't exactly have any use case in the real world. They don't. Anyone that's trying to say they do, it's cope, man. It's a real cope. But
Yeah,
that's the thing. We expect people are making things easier just to be able to do that sort of stuff. And it doesn't make sense. Like, unless there's actual use cases, actual reasons for these things to be usable, to be used in real life, it doesn't make any sense. You're just going to have manias. You're just going to have cycles and manias. You're not going to have staying power. You're not going to have real uses. You're not going to have things where crypto is still around, talked about. People are still excited or building on things, even though Bitcoin isn't pumping to new all-time highs. Like,
yeah,
we need to get out of it, man. We need to pop the bubble now. We need to climb out of the shell that everyone has put crypto in. But let's continue. So why is fixating on UX scope? Ooh, I'm going to love this. The current CT obsession and narrative parlor game de jour around every shiny new way we can improve crypto UX isn't strictly a bad thing. He's right. It's not a bad thing. We need account extraction. We need chain abstraction. We need near instant transaction and buttery smooth Web2 grade UX. Absolutely. I enjoy participating in the broader crypto UX technology community and do work with technology like Privy, Bioeconomy, in the wallet experience stack because I'm a product person and products with bad UX on a non-starter in a world with 5-second attention spans. He's absolutely right. Like, things need to be easy or people are going to leave immediately. Attention spans are horrible in this world. Things have just gotten worse over time. Previous economy are so good also. They make things so easy. You don't have to worry about your wallet. You don't have to worry about your seed phrases, stuff like that, because you can just use your email and password or your pass keys. It makes life easier. That's already huge. But but while this post touches upon and provokes by invoking UX, it does so mainly to point out good UX is as necessary, but woefully inefficient as the rallying cry for crypto beyond the narrative of the month. I won't be touching on all the great progress that has been happening in scaling, account abstraction, chain abstraction, balance abstraction, or any of that here 7702 is very exciting. I essentially take it as fact that the nerds have solved all these problems or are about to, and developers are going to get extremely ergonomic access to provide Web 2 seamless experiences, Web 3 guarantees. Okay, I suppose he's just saying that, like, although we have all this great UX and everything, like, it's going to make things a lot easier for developers, especially. But it's like, it's great, but we need to move on a little from that. So, because it's essentially a problem well on its way to solving itself, like scaling via ZK was 3 years ago, as I've pointed out a few times on Twitter, crypto's current obsession with improving UX and extracting crypto away crypto rails is essentially cope. It's not cope because we don't need to smooth these edges. We definitely do. We're making great progress with a lot of really smart people working diligently to solve issues of onboarding friction, wallet creation and recovery, chain abstraction, interoperability, and raw scaling. Even middleware apps and infra can be considered improvements on the user experience. And if last cycle's main rock to move was pure scaling, this time the focus has been UX. It's going to be possible very soon for users to not worry about chains, bridges, or really any detail of crypto if the app developer doesn't want them to. And the Web 2 UX or Web 3 guarantees is well within our collective reach as an industry. I'm not worried about it, even though I continue to do some work in this area myself. If I, whatever that word is pushing the boundaries of experimental scaling and UX EIPs for the EVM. One balance and Everclear are bringing chainless banks to everyone. The nerds have got this shit under control. The nerds really do. Oh my god. I'm just going to say it right here. EthereumMagicians.org, the place where all the Ethereum nerds are. Oh my God, these people are so smart. Oh my goodness. I go read sometime through these EIPs. I'm like, oh my goodness, people can be this smart. What? These people are so bloody smart. The things they talk about, the things they do, and it's out of this mind boggling. But just because they have that handle, we need to think about the things that comes after that. The nerds are going to take care of the scaling. The nerds are going to take care of the UX. They're going to take care of all the parts that really make things easier for the Web2 world. But we have to take care of the part where Web2 world can even use it. That's the real issue we have. The Web2 world can't use things yet, man. We need things to be available for Web2. And that's where it comes in. And yet I ask an uncomfortable question every day to myself as a crypto industry participant. Towards what end are we improving the UX? UX in particular and design in general is, as Steve Jobs put it, how it works. Absolutely. We don't really care how things work. We just want to be able to use it. But inextricably married to design in all great products is the awareness of satisfying some particular job to be done in a way that improves users' lives along some set of outcomes that are important to them. Basically, PMF.
Mm-hmm.
How is what you're building or what you're doing going to improve people's lives? And is it important to them? It has to be important to them, or they're not going to care. If design is how it works and the job to be done is what it's for, and if crypto doesn't actually uniquely help people get concrete jobs in their life done better, then it will likely collapse in on itself into an insular niche again in the next winter as speculation dries up. So here he's talking about like how if we don't find something that people can use crypto for, that people will find a usage for, that is important to them, that's going to give them jobs or make their life easier, then crypto is just going to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to disappear because there's nothing for people to do with it. And he's absolutely right on that. It's going to devolve, collapse into an, as he says, insular niche. Insular meaning secluded. No one knows about it. It's like I was saying, we're in a village. If people can't get out of the village, then what's the point? Do you really want to just be stuck in a village where everyone knows everyone and that's about it? I think it's like I'm always seeing on CT where people will be like, there isn't really that many people on CT. There's maybe 10K at max. So do you really want to be advertising to the same 10,000 people every day? That's
Mm-hmm.
probably even smaller than a village, honestly. I feel like some rural villages have bigger populations than them.
Yeah.
So So what is crypto for? I'm by no means blackpilled in terms of crypto solving real problems. If I was, I wouldn't be working in this space. We do, of course, have some early green shoots of real jobs being done by crypto, and there are really many cryptos at different stages in their journey of finding product market fit. Let's take stock of a few in rough order of how deep the PMF is by a totally made up scale I came up with. I like that. Sovereign, wait, let me just see how much more we have to go through this because then I can just skip a few things. Okay, we have a lot, so I'm not going to read everything. If anyone wants to read it
So
in their
just
free
read
time,
the like main parts
yeah.
because I
So
see it.
sovereign store of value, definitely. Like I think it's a lot to
Mhm.
read through. My throat will drop like halfway through everything. I'll post the link. Like I don't know, or someone can just like go check out the link,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm gonna post it here. This will go out to YouTube, and then I'll send the link to you, and you can post it on your socials. I'll post it on my
Mm-hmm.
socials if anyone wants to have a read of it. But sovereign store of value. So one of it would be sovereign store of value. Um, Basically, like Bitcoin, you can store your value within the things. So you just put all your funds into this particular asset, and then boom, that's your store of value. PMF score 4 or 5, because it's not particularly useful. It is extremely useful for people to have their funds appreciate over time. Take good PMF, 4 out of give the good old without the permission of maritime MCDP's vaults
Mm-hmm.
and every one revolution finance could work. So basically, all of the that we don't really have, AMMs, the way a lot of the way that DeFi works, if it was used in everyday life, it would be so much more useful. It could probably
Yeah.
improve on things so much better. Like, I mean, with now stocks and things being on chain, stocks are now traded 24 hours, 7 days a week. Where if you go with like the normal, FX, Forex, it's only according to certain time periods, Monday to Friday, Saturdays and Sundays is out. But with it being tokenized, you can trade it 24/7 every day. That's already a huge improvement. They're fast, they're
Yeah.
more efficient, they have better liquidity, all because they're tokenized. That's technically a pretty good 5 out of 5. The caveat is that it's only really good for companies. It's not exactly warm is to bother with. Still cool nonetheless. If you can move across the world instantly, that's cool. No-fi, following up and built on DeFi is what we call no-fi finance. It encompasses not just stable coins and real-world assets, but the entire potential commercial and payment system ecosystem that can be built using crypto rails and on top of primitives, such as the ones we built at DeFi Layer 1. So being able to self-custody all your funds, not having to worry about, okay, this company is holding all my funds, I can just have it all myself. That's also really cool. Great. That's usually what we're so used to this in crypto already. Non-custodial. Of course, the problem with non-custodial is that you have full custody, which means if you
Yeah.
do something wrong, you lose everything. No one is
Yeah.
going to bail you out.
You lose all your
you know,
Bitcoin,
no one
just
can
like I
bail you
did.
out then. Your Bitcoin is gone. Relatively good PMF, 3.5 out of 5, 3 out of 5. Like that's technically really good. If you can custody all your funds, it's like holding cash but not having to hold
Yeah.
physical cash.
Well, can I say
Technically
something
good.
real quick? Like
Yeah.
he basically like started the whole article kind of like saying there's like some grassroots of things that like crypto can do, and then he goes into this like a bunch of different points, like deep into like this article, and like he writes about all these different things that crypto can be used for, and it's like, what do you mean grassroots of something that obviously we can fucking use crypto for a lot of fucking shit? What do you mean? And it's
Mhm.
like, and he goes like so in depth into every point that it's like it's kind of ridiculous to for him to be like kind of like nonchalant about it in the beginning, like, oh, like I
Yeah,
feel like his attitude was a little bit of like, oh, crypto can't really be used about that many things right now. And then he has like a whole damn freaking novel about all the things that crypto can be used for and how my camera is not focused. How do I focus it? I was like being too excited. But it's like,
I think you may have. Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's just like, and then he's going to go in all to this detail, and it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Obviously, we can use this shit for like a lot of stuff, and like people are freaking excited about it. I don't
I
know.
think
That was.
I think he was more expressing frustration,
Mhm.
that like we can use crypto for all these things, and he's outlining them beautifully, further on in
Uh-huh.
the article. We can use crypto for all these things, but why aren't we? Like, why are
Right.
people so focused on talking about like crypto UX, improving the UX, but why aren't people actually focusing on being able to use crypto for the things that it can be used for and finding new use cases for it? Like, great example is, not too sure if you've heard of Fileverse.
No, I don't know.
Fileverse, I think it's an IO, DDocs, Fileverse, DDocs. So let me just bring this up quickly. Oh, shoot. So this is Fileverse, right?
Mhm.
Building the healthy, moisturized internet that is about privacy by design, but not by promise. So
Mhm.
this year, everything here is fully on-chain. Everything. IPFS, Fileverse, Solo, Fileverse AI agents, DDocs, D-Sheets. So this is like Google Docs, but
Mhm.
on-chain. D-Sheets, Google Sheets, but on-chain. Team portals or private apps for chat, workspaces, emails, all of these things. All of this is on-chain. When you make any changes to DDocs, as an example, it gets saved to Arweave, which is Arweave is on, what's it? Can't remember. But everything is saved on-chain.
Mhm.
That's already an immediate, how shall I say, a crypto use case. People can use this actively. You can go, it might not have all the features of like, everything yet because they're still building it out, but you have all your basic features, your headings, your subheadings, all of these sorts of things, whatever. The D sheets is a little more fleshed out with, yeah, so yeah, D sheets. It's a fully on-chain sheets. You can drag in data from like Dune and stuff like that. You can
Mhm.
format it. Takes a little more longer to load up sometimes, but that's because everything is on-chain.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the problem. It's like this is there, but people don't really use it yet. And I think they working really hard. They have really good PMF, honestly. I've used them a few times and they're constantly building out things, making it a little better at a time. And I think it's wonderful. I kind of find the
Yeah.
interface a little nicer than Google Sheets. But that's such a simple example. Okay, very complicated to build out. Let's be
Yeah.
honest, very complicated to build out. But it's such a simple, such a good use case. But we don't see that often. And that's the problem. You know, it's sad. At least to me, it's sad. It makes me sad.
It is, yeah. Serenity said it would be a much shorter list to say what crypto could not be used for, and I have to agree. That's funny. That is true.
That is very true.
Um, it's okay. So people, the problem here is that it's kind of like why Kalshi is so popular because people can gamble with crypto, and that
Mhm.
is like that is what most people in the world want, no matter where you live. The biggest business that you always are going to have is going to be, and like the business that makes the most money is going to be gambling. It's so in the country where I live right now, gambling is legal. So the businesses, I once looked up like what are the most like profitable businesses in the country, and it's like it's the casinos, it's gambling. So
Mhm.
that's why so many people in crypto don't like, most like the bigger companies, like, they spend their time building out ways to gamble. That's why pump fund was so popular. That's why like all these launch pads for tokens were popular and everybody was making money, is because people want to gamble. And it's like, it's
Yep.
human. I think it is human nature. So the problem here is almost like trying to fight human nature. It's like you cannot convince people not to gamble. They're always going to want to gamble. And it's like, yeah, like some of us are not into gambling, so like we have like other interests, and like we like want to use crypto for like other stuff, and like maybe collect art, or like we're interested in the tech or whatever, but we're the minority. Like the the biggest like use case for crypto is gambling. And it's like, but also think about this, gambling is never going to go away. People are never going to like want to stop gambling. Kitty, that's a cute cat.
He's not baby. He's just a baby. He's just a
And
baby.
so
He's just a
like
baby.
me and my husband were like talking one day, and we were talking about the fact that actually crypto could never just go away. Like there is cycles, but like because gambling is such a, it's so big and like people love to do it, crypto is going to survive on just the gamblers. The gamblers are going to go work and make more money and then come back and gamble it again. It's just what it is, just a reality.
Look who's leaving now. He was laying here and now he's leaving.
Cute.
No, definitely. Like crypto is, I mean, gambling. People love to
Yeah.
gamble. People are always going to want to gamble. And there's no way that we can remove gambling from crypto, and we shouldn't. Like that's probably people make gambling whatever, just do
Hmm.
what you want to do, I guess. But we have a lot more potential for being able to do things with crypto,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where things need to be. Um, so I know of this project, what is it, Space Time DB, right? So Space Time DB, let me share the screen quickly. So Space Time DB is obviously they are centralized thing, obviously, right? So they are centralized. Now, yeah, the interesting part about them is that the way that a lot of their things work, so you deploy your things onto what they call main cloud, which is their main cloud application. So when you write your functions, it's essentially a smart contract.
Hmm.
It uses the exact same methodologies as what you would like with a smart contract. You write it out, it's technically immutable, you deploy it onto main cloud, and there you go. It does
Hmm.
all the functions that it's supposed to do. They built this because of the existence of smart contracts. So they looked at how smart contracts work, they worked out how they could go about things, and then they decided, you know what if we didn't use a blockchain? What if we built our own sort of blockchain, you could say, which is main cloud, which is this thing right here, um, which is the main cloud. So they took that, then you deploy your application, your code onto the main cloud, which would be the smart contract, which is the equivalent of a smart contract. Boom, it's up there. And as people play your game, because they kind of built it towards gaming specifically, they wanted it to be about like do like your multiplayer games and stuff like that. What's the biggest perk of a smart contract? Anyone can get access to the data, and that's it. That was the whole
Hmm.
focus. Because they've deployed this sort of smart contract system, as things change, it updates everywhere for everyone simultaneously because it's one singular database that everyone on the game server knows about, that gets access to that. As things change, as values update, it gets updated for everyone in real time because they're all getting information from this singular main cloud. And the smart contract has immutable functions that run every time something happens. It does transformations and all of these things. It's so smart. It makes so much
Hmm.
sense. And that's like, Crazy. That's technically a use case that could have been on a crypto, that could have been on a
Mhm.
blockchain, and it's done. Someone went and did this. They went and built a whole new type of blockchain specifically for the way of doing things, for what they wanted to do. And boom,
Mhm.
there you go. Technically a full use case right there. And everything runs in a WASM sandbox. Everything is infinitely expressive. It's like it just makes so much sense, right? And I'm always thinking like you could technically do the same with like any layer two, technically, deploy a smart contract for your game. When things happen, certain events have to be emitted, you can post it up to the blockchain and boom, there you go. Of course, we need a lot higher transactions per second.
Mhm.
You need a much higher TPS to be able to accomplish a lot of things. But point is, it can be done. It
Yeah.
can be done. Yes, because blockchains are decentralized, it's going to take a little longer. We need higher scaling, but space-time DB is a really good example of what crypto could be, and it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
Well, yeah, and I agree with you. It really is, but you know, it we're just trying to get to a point where, like, I don't know, I guess more people are like interested in the tech and they're excited about it. And I think we are slowly getting there, like, but it's just as I said, it's almost like fighting the nature of humanity, which is like trying to gamble.
I like to say that people don't need to really care about the tech. Like, do
Mhm.
you know how your bank works?
Yeah, it's
Do you
like,
know how your banking app works? Do you know how
yeah,
your computer works? Do you know
yeah,
how when you send a message on your messaging app, do you know how that works? No,
yeah.
I
So
do, but that's
I
because I'm
mean,
technical. I'm a developer, so I would go build out those things. But most people don't know. Most people don't care. You don't care how what happens when I send you a message on Discord and how it gets to you on the other side of the world.
I just
You
care that
don't.
it works.
Exactly. You just care that it got to you in a timely manner. You just care that if you send me a reply, it's going to get to me. You don't care how it works when you go into a voice call and we have a live voice
Yeah,
conversation. How the
yeah,
hell does it magically get my voice over here in South Africa over to you in Europe? You
right.
know? How does that happen? You don't really care, but it happens. And that's kind of the thing, tech crypto people tend to try to imply that everyone should care about the tech and how the tech works and oh the tech is so good and the tech this, the tech that. Most people don't care. And most
Yeah,
people are
and
never going to care.
it's like I do rant about that too. It's like, yeah, most people don't care, and it's like, and but that's also why I kind of like this article that you read from this person. I almost like don't fully agree with him because at the end of the day, like, UX is so important because in my opinion, it's like I don't want to touch anything that doesn't work
Mhm.
right. As I'm not going to sit here and figure it out. I refuse to. And I don't have I shouldn't have to. I should be
Mhm.
able to use it smoothly and like easily. And that's all I care about. And it's like I believe that until that is like the truth for like every like crypto app, that most normal people are not going to care about crypto. And it's like, and I do think that if things are easier to use and more seamless and like smooth, then more of the average people are going to be interested in what they can do with crypto. I think that UX is very important.
Yeah. Look, he's not saying that UX isn't important. So in one of his replies to me earlier, he said, we can't get to mass adoption without great UX, right? So like
Hmm.
Slingshot, great UX.
Yeah,
But we can also have great UX and still completely fail at adoption. Because
of
what's the
course.
point of a great UX if no one's going to use the application, which is why he's talking about PMF. So he
Yeah,
mentioned he gives a lot of attributions towards UX and like how far we've come and how some really smart people in Ethereum are working on it. And they're definitely going to solve all the UX problems. But the other problem is adoption. Do we
hmm,
have the applications for people to actually use? Because yes,
yeah,
we can have account abstraction. Yes, we can have like, all these really cool features that make crypto seamless. But Do we have the applications for people to actually use it?
Yeah.
And that's the real problem.
Yep.
I think we've hit a good point where we can end off things for tonight. Do you
Yeah.
agree?
Getting like sleepy at this point. I'm like, oh, I'm like, I can't keep up anymore. But
Me
yeah,
too. My brain is busy melting. Yeah.
yeah, my brain is melting out here. But I do agree with you. I do think that we need more, like, as I said, I feel like we talked about is this yesterday. We need more apps that and more things, more products that we can use like daily on a daily basis, stuff that you makes your life easy, and it's like uh, built on crypto or whatever, like we're using like the technology that we have for these things. I think, yeah, and it's for me it used to be like Slingshot, and then now the closest thing that comes to that is like the Gboy website, just because I can make like easy make like memes or art and stuff like that, and that's like
Hey, look at
I
that.
go
There's a
on
use
it
case.
every day.
Because you pay for that with crypto, don't you?
Yeah, yeah,
I imagine every other image and video generation website uses crypto.
right. Getting
And,
hot, huh?
in fact,
But
yeah, yeah,
anyways, yeah, we can end it right here. I think we had like we went for on for like quite some time, and I think we
we
talked
did.
about a lot of interesting things. And so I hope
Okay,
everybody enjoyed themselves. What were you
before
gonna
we
say?
end off,
Yeah.
next week, Thursday, is Christmas, which means the day before is Christmas Eve, and the day after is a break. So we will not be having a stream next week. Okay. So for everyone that's here right now, or listens to or whatever, we will not be having the stream next week. And then the week after that is New Year's. So we
Years.
will again be taking a break for New Year's also. So we will see everyone in
2 weeks.
2 weeks. The 8th of January, we will see everyone back here for ducking around and finding out. Ducking around, finding out. We'll come back with drama. We'll probably have like 2 weeks, 3 weeks worth of
two
drama to
weeks
talk
worth of
about.
drama.
We'll have so much that we can talk about. We'll be able to go through so many things. But I just want to make sure everyone that is here or maybe catches the recording, maybe we'll clip this and post it also. But just
Hmm.
want everyone to know that we will not be live for the next 2 weeks. We won't be doing the regular stream. We will come back in January the 8th and then, the week after that. So, yeah. If
We'll see you
also,
next
if
week.
anyone does want to maybe speak to us on your project that week, we're open to it.
We are open
Unless
to
you're like,
it.
especially if you're infrastructure, like if you're infrastructure, we're happy to do it. If you're not, that's a different conversation we'll have to
Yeah,
have.
yeah. Um, but yeah, we're going to see everybody next year.
Literally next year.
Yeah, that's
Don't worry, we're
exciting.
not going anywhere.
Yeah,
We'll just be planning in the background. We'll be sorting some things out, maybe getting a few things ready, making some plans for some like conversations with projects or
yeah,
teams or infrastructures. We'll be planning some cool things for January and February, but we just won't be doing this weekly stream.
yeah.
So
And I hope that everybody's going to have a good Christmas. They're going to celebrate the holidays and then celebrate New Year, and then we're going to see you next year.
we'll see you next year. Have an awesome Christmas. Have an even better New Year's. Spend some time with the family. Take that break that you've been needing to take. And let us see you all next year. Thank you for joining. Thank you for spending your time with us. And we will love and leave you. Please